takes to win an award like this.
Will do, Charlie. It's about being customer focused. Our sales and service team have been with us for a long time, and every day, all they focus on is 100% customer satisfaction. It's really that simple.
Maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy, so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Right now, lease a 2026 Ford F-150 for $195 per month for 36 months. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1009974, $195 per month, lease for 36 months with approved credit, 7,500 miles per year, 10,000 due at signing, no security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 8/31/26.
Right here in Lincoln, young people are waiting for someone like you. At Big Brothers Big Sisters, mentoring happens out in the community. Grabbing ice cream, shooting hoops, playing music, or just hanging out and talking. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up, spending time, and building a positive, consistent connection with a young person. Just a few hours each month can make a lasting impact. Be big. Start something life-changing today. Learn more at bbbsmidlands.org.
Looking for the right utility tractor for your acreage? Find it at Landmark Implement. Shop our selection of used John Deere compact tractors from 1 through 5 series with the power and versatility to track mowing, yard work, snow removal, and more. For a limited time, get 2.9% financing for 36 months, followed by 6.2 for 24 months with approved credit. We've got the right fit for your property and your budget. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or visit us online at landmarkimp.com today and experience the Landmark difference.
Green's Furnace and Plumbing has been servicing the southeast Nebraska area since 1921, specializing in HVAC systems, bathroom remodels, duct cleaning, backflow testing, and so much more. With a network of trained technicians ready to assist you, Green's Furnace and Plumbing is your source for dedicated commercial HVAC services for your business, building, or even your home so it can run without unwanted interruption. Learn more by visiting their website at callgreens.com or give them a call at 402-467-4444 today.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln. This is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln, Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Troy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped and picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score! Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black Shirts answer the call one more time.
And Austin Orman. Hour one of Old School is sponsored by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Happy Friday from us at Old School to you. A beautiful day to talk sports for 3 hours here in the 402. Welcome to it. It is Old School, brought to you by Graham Tire Company. I'm Austin Norman. To my left, your right if you're watching on stream, Husker Hall of Famer, NFL vet, basketball coach, and many other things extraordinaire, Jay Foreman. Happy Friday, partner.
Hey, happy Friday. I'm a retired basketball coach, though. I think the whistle is up, though.
Well, are you
until I'm enticed to
how retired are you? Like
until
Jordan Larson retired,
probably
or
like that. Yeah, until further notice.
Till it makes sense again.
Yeah,
because we know the love for the game's still there.
I love the coach. I like to see kids grow. But I got some other stuff I think on that try to help kids along the recruiting process and more like getting ready, helping them get recruitable and stuff like that. But if there's an opportunity that I feel, coach, see something maybe in the future, maybe it's a big maybe. It takes a lot of time, man. I mean, it's I had people ask me to come back and do it, and then my kids, they I had them all the way from like third or fourth grade, and the main ones are third or fourth grade, and some of them stayed through the whole time. Some branched off to go play, like Tyrell Chapman, he's at Penn State, and Dante Curtis is at Akron. Both of them are playing football. Had other kids go other places, and so it's kind of. But now, like, I think the second time I did, if I went around and did it, it'd be totally different.
In what ways?
It would. I mean, I know a lot more now, and I knew a lot then, but I know a lot more now. How to approach kids and run it. It wouldn't be a business, but it would be more like because these kids. I'm gonna say the parents and kids, the loyalty isn't there. They're loyal to their feelings and emotions. You know what I'm saying? And so if they feel like they're enticed to go to like a bigger organization, you can't feel bad about letting them go do it, and then they just they'll end up at the same spot or a little bit lower than they were before. So then because I would always be loyal to the kids and kind of turn away other kids. I would just not turn away other kids.
I love
that might be better. But when they're there, I coach them all the same. But there's a lot of kids, man, that I enjoy seeing. I run in I call him Huddy. Hudson Metzger, plays at Southwest. When I do see him, enjoy
Sniper.
Enjoy seeing him. All the kids from Southwest and some other kids, so you don't see him, and then you do see him. Like Mari Schumacher, he just got he's going to Kansas City Community College. That dude, man, I used to talk to him probably on the bench 90% of the game. Like when he'd be playing, but like he'd be on there, be talking to him. He's funny, man. He's funny, and he's a kid I always wish the best for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Jay, 7 weeks from tomorrow.
What's that?
Game 1.
Really?
7 weeks, 50 days today.
Woo-hoo. Yeah.
We're there. Around the corner.
Hey, time is ticking, man. Time is ticking. It's going to be interesting, man. I mean, it's the hay's in the barn, and so they got to finish out the rest of the summer. But it'll be interesting to see how or what stories come out of camp, and then I'll see how Nebraska comes that first game. The first game's at 11 a.m., right?
Believe so.
Yeah, 11 and then 6 and 6, and then I don't know what the Michigan State game is. So you kind of know. What your path is the first 3 games and prepare for that. And see how much improvement they made from spring to, the first game, second, third game, and then see what guys step up. I mean, obviously, everybody's going to be excited to see the offensive line. Running back room is going to be a probably ongoing competition, I'm assuming. I mean, unless they've seen something different, up until now. And then to see what Calandra is going to do as far as the quarterback. Look, he's going to get off early in these, like, against the Pee Wee leagues, right? And so, but I'm going to really look for look at game winning or game influencing plays from the quarterback. Can you make the on schedule plays to keep and extend drives? Can you be patient for multiple drives? You know what I mean? And not get caught up in the moment of trying to, I wouldn't say embarrass the lesser teams, but get yours. Go out there and just be efficient and onward, upwards. Kind of like a Jalen Hurts. Sometimes, like when he was at Oklahoma, and you see it sometimes, obviously with the Eagles, he's fine with throwing for like 120. Get the dub, be efficient.
Pick up a couple third downs with his leg.
Yeah, 11 to 14 or whatever, and kind of just a rinse and repeat. Everybody's happy and healthy coming in going to next week.
So, 7 weeks from tomorrow, we will have our home opener for Nebraska football. Of course, covering it all with the 3 hours of pregame coverage. So looking forward to that Big Ten Media Days. Jay, you and I will be out there with Jake and DP, it appears. We'll leave a week from Monday. I have plenty to talk about leading into and coming out of that. But some more from Ross Dellinger at Yahoo Sports. Lawmakers are adjusting the anti-expansion provision in the Protect College Sports Act that we're all still waiting with bated breath on, so that group of 6 schools could move to Power 4 leagues. And then there's supposed to be some more revisions that will play to the Big Ten and the SEC to try to get the 2 biggest, most powerful conferences in college football on board. But Ross Dellinger quote tweeted his own tweet and said, "It's a critical juncture in the history of the college sports industry. Without passage of a revised Senate bill, SEC leaders are preparing Plan B, a self-governing model in which the league enforces its own rules and perhaps even competes against its only members. No playing anybody else. You only play teams in the SEC." Would be a piece of this self-governance model by the SEC. And so I ask you, how serious do you think the SEC is? And is this a time for the rest of college football to call the SEC's bluff?
Well, I'll answer the second question first. I'd call their bluff right now. Do it. Go ahead. Do it. But they're not serious at all. They just talking, man.
Yeah.
They're actually, the Sankey and all them are generally right on point up until recently because they lost a stronghold on college football. They've been really on point, and they kind of been able to dictate, the path of how college football would go, and obviously with their path on certain teams. They sound like idiots right now. They sound straight ignorant. It wouldn't even be a nationally sellable product. It would be a 30 for 30 in however many years what destroyed it. Because you remember the 30 for 30 of the how the SEC came into prominence, right? You talk about, have you seen that one? With the rise of the SEC, it'll be the opposite. And it'll be just because of that. They called their bluff, and now you're sitting out there looking stuck on stupid. You would. And if I was the ACC in the Big 12, I would encourage them to do it, because then I would anoint the Big 10 as our champion, and then the Big 10 will allow them to level up faster than they would right now. So let them do it.
That was my next question. What's the Big Ten's role in all of this? We've talked a lot about a potential super league that this bill is trying to prevent, which would be the Big Ten and the SEC most likely. Is there any room? Is there a chance for the Big Ten to stand up and say, you know what, we're not doing this. We're going to start championing the little guy, and we'll bring the Big 12 and the ACC along and make more friends across the country? Or do you think the Big Ten would follow suit with the SEC? Oh, if they're going to do it, why wouldn't we do it?
No. I think the Big Ten likes a partnership with the SEC because they recognize we're the 2 best, most powerful conferences. When we're together, we can run things together that's beneficial for everybody, but more importantly, us.
Yeah.
And that's the way it should be, right? As of right now, we've got the most money. We've got the most championships. We have the best players and the best, everything, top to bottom and all that stuff, right? And obviously very, very heavily academic-wise in the Big Ten as well. That's a partnership, right? That's the Batman, Robin,
Well, let me ask you this, though. Is it Batman and Robin, or is it keep your friends close but your enemies closer?
It's a little bit of that. And that's fine. Some of the best business partners are guys I know that run business together, aren't necessarily best friends, and they kind of know each other's like blind spots or things they don't like about each other, but they protect each other. And I always say this about like when my teammates, there's a lot of teammates, to be honest with you, a couple dudes I hate. I hate seeing them and all that other stuff, right? But they're still my teammates. If it comes down for me to do something for them and with them, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to protect them first.
Yeah.
Hate them second, if you get what I'm saying. Or not like them. I hate's too big a word, but you get what I'm saying?
I think enough of us have played team sports. I mean, obviously you're at the highest level.
This is the ultimate team sport. This is what the Big Ten and the SEC has benefited as a team.
By competing against each other, with each other, and working together when it makes sense.
Mutual respect and all that. Taking some jabs at each other, but we're still going to do that.
Well, you have to practice against someone.
Now you want to leave. Okay, fine. We'll bounce. Well, and now here's what will be really interesting if they do call their bluff. The SEC breaks off. Will they try to get the ACC to merge with them eventually to be the little brother they can beat up on because of proximity? Right now, not as much because you got some West Coast teams. Now, I could see them taking the originals and kicking out the West Coast teams.
Yeah,
I'm just I mean, I can just think.
Well, and maybe even like the northern wing as well. I mean,
right, like the old Big East, like those bring those
BC,
guys,
Syracuse, whatever.
Yeah, they made UConn for basketball or something like that. But you could see them trying to go and recruit, like go off on their own, struggle. Hey, you know what? We're trying to be the cool kids. Like like we bullied you, but like you know what? I actually really like you. It's just a show of love, right? And then get them to come in there and then try to take from which would be the conglomerate over here. And the Big Ten might be cool because the Big 12 is closer in proximity.
Yeah,
you probably could get the old Pac-10 or Pac-12 back together and maybe recoup some of those teams,
cobble it together.
Yeah, and then to be honest with you, this is years. Who knows if I'll still be kicking, live and kicking by then. Then you would literally have like the United States of America football-wise split right down the middle.
Yeah,
not quite the Mississippi, but just over. Because Ohio State
between the Mississippi and the Missouri,
because Ohio State.
Further east. Sorry,
it would be. But they would feel like they got all the business over there. They got New York City, DC, and all that stuff.
True.
Yeah,
I like what you said there because you nailed it in your first little point. If the SEC strikes out on its own, because of how the SEC has chosen to expand, it doesn't have the big national footprint. Now, it does have some relatively major media centers, right? I mean, you think about Texas with some level of involvement in, Dallas, with Austin not being that far. Obviously, Houston with A&M. Those are two pretty big cities to have. Nashville, obviously, firmly in the SEC footprint. Atlanta, obviously a big one. Charlotte, at least close enough. But Miami's ACC. And you really only have, 12 states maybe down at the bottom in all, give or take.
But they feel like they feel like the water that they drink is different than everybody else.
They do. But to your point, if you're trying to strike out on your own and do your own thing and try to sell it nationally, you're just going to have to hyper concentrate on that region.
Yeah.
Because if you're not going to take trips up the coast, if you're not going to take trips to the Midwest, if you're not going to take trips out west, that's where, as much as we might bemoan, maybe not to the level of Mick Cronin, what the Big Ten is doing or not doing going coast to coast, at least the Big Ten has those three major hubs, right? They can claim the New York City market. I don't really believe they have, but they've gone there before. Obviously, Chicago right in the middle. And then they claim the Los Angeles wing right now with those two schools. And even it's not that bad a flight from Seattle or Portland, whatever, to get down there. The Big Ten actually has, 38 states or 36 states, whatever you want to call it, that they can credibly say, hey, you're in our footprint,
right?
Or could be very easily. The SEC, plain and simple, doesn't. So if the SEC wants to break off on its own, I think it's a given. It would have to partner with at least the ACC and maybe even fight eventually to keep Cal and Stanford in there.
Yeah, just to have a footprint.
But
it wouldn't be viable for Cal and Stanford. And they would.
You thought Vandy was bad.
They probably would try to exercise their right to leave because of it being blown up. You know what this reminds me of, and this is what essentially what college football is turning into. I would say NFL is entertainment, but obviously at the highest level. I don't think the product of the NFL is as good as it should be. Now, neither is college just because of lack of coaching. But really, now you're starting to see the NFL to trickle potentially. Now, if this happens, say it happens tomorrow, the entertainment factor and the way that they're going about it's starting to trickle down to college. You know what this is? I grew up, I watched wrestling when I was younger, right? And so up in Minnesota, Chicago, let's just say the Great Lakes area, there was the AWA, wrestling. And that's where, the Road Warriors were there. It was kind of like guys would just come, you were flowing through there. You'd have some great, big matches. They'd be down the Metrodome, Greg Gagne and the Gagne family, Ric Flair had done all that stuff. Well, the big dog was the WWF, right?
Yeah.
Well, then you saw, and I'm sure DP would know a little bit more in this, and now he would be, I would just take it, go along with me. Then the WCW went off on their own. Then they recruited Hulk Hogan and them and so forth and so on, right? And then they started to blow up kind of more like down south, really, realistically, because it used to be the NWA. I used to date myself and all this stuff. And it really blew up, right? And well, what happened was that made the WWF take the AWA and all like the kind of like the little ones. And now that's what you got.
Piece them together.
Right. And blew up.
Yeah.
And started to really have first dibs on The Rock and Steve Austin and took Steve Austin from the NWA when he was a different name and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually WCW went kaput and had to rejoin again. So that's what it kind of seems like. It's like call their bluff. They want to go off on their own. They'll be very regionalized. It'll be really good football. Like essentially you'll be looking at the same guys. You know, it would always make fun of people that play for like Nebraska Supreme, because you'll go to these tournaments like these national champion and play the same teams that you play in Omaha or then you play in Kansas City. You know what I mean? And that's what they'll be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, we got a really good, this is the same Tennessee, kind of like guys will transfer all this through there. If it happens, it happens. I would call their bluff, but I would call their bluff after I have a commitment from at least the Big 12 and the old Pac-12, and I would try to get the ACC because I would like to try to recruit the ACC from a basketball standpoint and marry with the Big Ten.
Yes.
And football too, but just that would be like the cherry on top. The reason why I would want to get the ACC is essentially you would literally lock them into the Deep South. They're like then their original ones. Yeah.
Love that in theory.
It won't happen, but that's my theory.
Yeah, no, I love what you're saying.
Yeah.
In theory, because guess what? We tried an alliance before.
Yeah.
And maybe there's better, stronger leadership in place. I don't know the Pac-12 commissioner off the top of my head, but
and opportunities that we're the big dogs now.
True. But Jim Phillips hasn't exactly sounded pleased with the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Tony Petitti certainly has his eyes set on world domination. Doesn't seem like he's doing it the exact same way as Sankey, but there have been some similarly worded statements. And if I'm the Pac-12 in the ACC specifically, I'm a little leery. The other part about this we have to keep in mind is the ACC is partnered with ESPN.
Yeah.
You know,
and
the
that's
Big
actually
12
who makes the decision.
Right. And so the Big 12 and the Big East, if you want to do the basketball thing in there, they're Fox partners. And Big 12, I think, still has some inventory on ESPN, especially the college basketball side of things. But I just worry there's not the level of trust we need at the highest level between like a Petitti and a Phillips and a Pac-12 commissioner to make it work, even though I think you're completely right. That would be the best strategy for the Big Ten is to work on the ACC, get them, and the ACC, of course, has had its own level of infighting based on that very same TV deal that's kept it together at this point. And so I think there's a lot of value to whoever is able to move first and make it work. But there also might be a lot of value for whoever's willing to sit back, play the system out, and see what it looks like in 5 to 10 years instead of
sit
jumping.
back and chill.
Mm-hmm.
But I would
especially if you're the Big Ten, it's working for you right now.
I call your bluff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead, jump out there. You feel froggy, then leap. I don't understand. I think it shows desperation for control.
Yes,
they're scrambling right now because you got to think they were able to have NIL down there when nobody else had NIL. They really had college football on lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
That's the worst thing that happened for college football was a little bit of NIL, well, uncapped, unregulated NIL, and I don't think there was ever any way to regulate it unless the payments came directly from the NCAA.
Sure.
Right. And then therefore, if you got payments outside of it, it better be verifiable. If you didn't, if your NIL package is $50,000 and you got a Lamborghini, you probably never playing college football again.
How'd you stretch that check?
Right. So that's the worst thing. But then for the SEC, they feel like the NIL and transfer portal and the being able to do the soft cap that they have right now, rev share, is the worst thing that's happened to them because everybody actually had money. Everybody wasn't actually paying players on a regular basis or the amount of money to the amount of players, and whether it's benefits and things, right? In the Big Ten as they were down in the SEC. And that's just, they weren't getting caught. They were better at it than we were, and that's all there is to it. And now right now they got to figure out a way to play ball and get back on top, but you're not able to get back on top primarily because Nick Saban retired. Nick Saban is the one that moved the needle. Now, Nick Saban's trying to go to the Congress or whatever he's doing, but he has an egg on his face because all the other coaches and stuff, knowing that you've been paying players, with the Chargers and all that stuff down there, because you weren't getting guys that go down to Tuscaloosa. There is nothing going on down there. Nothing.
Not a thing.
At all. And especially in the summer. So, now you're trying to, have a cap and don't want guys to get paid that much, but you don't have a problem with coaches getting paid that much. Now, I think you need to come up with a plan. The best thing you could do is find a way to pause, college football for the foreseeable future until you can actually get together and make all the decisions besides one here. We'll be a 12 team, but we're going to spend 3 meetings, crucial meetings that we can make other decisions just to meet about possibility going to 24 or the private equity in the Big Ten. Let's meet. We agree. And then we have 2 teams that change their mind in the 23rd hour for whatever reason. One of them being Michigan that is in financial trouble and they would need it more than or as much as everybody else. All that type of stuff, all those checks and balances, they need to spend months to get that together. Then go to Congress and say, this is what we want the players to get paid. But you up there trying to regulate what the players getting paid in the free market, and you're talking about capitalism and all this other stuff, when you've been essentially, getting free labor for centuries. I mean,
150 years.
Yeah. It's ignorant. And it's
and you expect us just to overlook it and not call you on it?
Right. In this day and time. And, probably some of the people that you don't see in front of the camera that work for the NCAA or whatever are still getting paid millions of dollars. It's still flying. And now they just have no accountability to it because they just threw it out there and just said, all right, survive on your own. Colleges. And sure, I think there is going to be donor fatigue. I do think that the ability to go and continue to, I call it to have that Taj Mahal mentality that everything we're going to do is keep spinning. That's not going to be it. It's sooner or later, it's going to blow up or you're going to have to actually get together and make super leagues and sub-super leagues and go to the European soccer model in some form. Stop talking about collective bargaining with players. Just stop it. It's not going to happen. I've been a part of the NFL union. It's not happening in college. It never will happen. Period. It can't happen. You don't have any leadership. You're talking about going from not only across state lines and all this. You've never had a union. You know what I mean? And then now all of a sudden you're going to try to union. Okay, well then what are you going to do for the players that played in the past? They're going to have benefits because guess what? In every other league, they have benefits for past players.
And you thought the back pay from these legal cases already has been bad for name, image, likeness? Wait till the benefits back pay comes out.
Are you going to do that? Who's going to cover them insurance-wise? Right? Individually and collectively. Who's going to be on point with that? Who's going to cover malpractice insurance? All that. It's not happening. It's not. Now, you could get together and have some, a leadership group, and everybody can maybe, you could pay dues in that you can have representation and then get it back after, a couple years after your eligibility is up, because there'll always be money poured in every year. You know what I'm saying? That could happen, but it never will be a union. So stop talking about it. Stop talking. We need collective bargaining. Anybody gets on the air talking about it is ignorant. They're lying to you.
Move on. It's not going to happen. Stop wasting time.
It's not going to happen. You know how many players you would have to go back and compensate in some form or fashion?
Tens of thousands.
It just wouldn't happen. So this whole stuff, it seems like they're just bored. They got a lot of problems down in the SEC. Make sure they have enough money in getting back in the national title, hunt and dominance and all that. We do as well in the Big Ten. Everybody has, that's what should be. College football is more important than you designing at July 17th. So 2.5 weeks before camp start opening, that you're going to go off on your own because you're at SEC money. I'm assuming the media days
coming up.
Yeah. And you want to get the attention. We're going to go off on our own. Really? Vanderbilt ready to go off on their own? Mississippi State ready to go off on their own?
Nah.
Yeah, sure. The big dogs are.
Oh, okay. Let's
assuming that.
Well, let's pause there.
Yeah.
Are they? Would they, the big dogs, whoever, let's define the big dogs, would they actually want to go independent to self-governance? I think that's a great next topic, as well as what you said about the SEC's proto NIL before it was legal for everybody. I think there's lots to jump into there. He's Jay Foreman. I'm Austin Norman. Hour 1 of Old School brought to you by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Come back with us.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Go hog wild with barbecue.
The best barbecue
barbecue deal in town is at Hog Wild. We're serving up a $5.99 meal deal that includes a one-meat sandwich, your favorite classic side, and a drink, all for just $5.99. Craving brisket? Upgrade to our tender, slow-smoked beef brisket for only $1.50 more. Join us for lunch or dinner, or order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway, Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Your sprinklers are watering the street or flooding your backyard. If you're on a list that doesn't exist, it's time for Judson Irrigation. At Judson Irrigation, Lee or Lacey or Judson will make an appointment. You pick a time and they'll be there to fix your sprinkler system. Now that's service, a dying art these days.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Husker fans, the 2026 Nebraska football season is quickly approaching, and we need you in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. Single game tickets for all 7 home games start at just $45 and are now available in both end zone and sideline seat locations. These tickets are only available while supplies last, so get yours today before they're gone. To purchase your Husker football single game tickets or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy, here we go. Just keep your eye on the ball. All right, just swing right through it. Yeah, good job. Way to go. Hey, run it out. Okay.
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Dana Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Dana Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Dana Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy, so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Right now, lease a 2026 Ford F-150 for $195 per month for 36 months. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1009974, $195 per month, lease for 36 months with approved credit, 7,500 miles per year, 10,000 due at signing, no security deposit required, tax, title, and license fees expert, residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 8/31/26.
Looking for the right utility tractor for your acreage? Find it at Landmark Implement. Shop our selection of used John Deere compact tractors from 1 through 5 series with the power and versatility to track mowing, yard work, snow removal, and more. For a limited time, get 2.9% financing for 36 months, followed by 6.2 for 24 months with approved credit. We've got the right fit for your property and your budget. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or visit us online at landmarkimp.com today and experience the Landmark difference.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rolling through hour 1 of Old School on a Friday. Austin Norman, Jay Foreman with you, continuing to talk about an interesting piece put out by Ross Dellinger and a follow-up to it. The SEC, if the Protect College Sports Act doesn't include all the language at once, is rumored to be considering a self-governance sort of model. I gave you a quote from Jim Phillips on that yesterday. But, Jay, you mentioned the big dogs in the SEC. They're probably okay with it. First of all, who are the big dogs, and what's their case for being okay with the SEC potential breakaway? I would say secession, but that has some
Right
other
now,
connotations, so I'll say breakaway.
Okay,
instead.
what's your definition of a big dog?
The ones that come to mind for me immediately in football, obviously, Bama and Georgia.
But what's your definition? Like, what defines them as a big dog? Is it like on the field? Is it perception? Or is it
on the field?
A combination of things?
A combination of on-field success, public perception and persona. And this one's a lot trickier to measure. Who do you know? You know, who's there pulling the strings, right? Because I don't think that Vanderbilt is a big dog in any way on the field consistently. But they got more money than pretty much anyone in the SEC.
Yeah.
With that hospital being a private school, yada, yada, all that. So is Vandy a big dog? No. But you have to count them because of the money and the major media market in Nashville.
They're on the come up.
Is Florida a big dog? I don't know. Is Tennessee a big dog? In some ways.
Yeah.
Is Missouri a big dog? I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, and then how many teams do you need to have your, let's call it the big dog league? You know what I'm saying? You know how many? You know what I mean, to fill in there. You just wonder how many teams do you need?
Because you got to play 12-game schedule. You need at least 12 or at least 13. 13.
So I'm thinking like you could do it, but you would have to be recruiting all those. It'd be like essentially like 10, 12 bowl games.
But if you're a self-governing conference, would you have access to the college football playoff? That's what I'm less sure about, and why if I'm Kirby Smart, or if I'm Kalen DeBoer, or if I'm Brent Venables or Steve Sarkisian, got to throw them in the mix at this point. Obviously, Texas and Oklahoma, I think, can still be considered big dogs, A&M as well. If they don't have access to the playoff, or if the Big Ten and whatever other conferences join arms there, say, okay, you want to go govern yourself? Cool. But we refuse to play you. We're not letting you into our playoff. There's no way the SEC would do that. The college football playoff is where the money is. Right?
Yeah, it definitely would. But if you have a big dog league, you would have your own type of deal. You'd have to really expand the I don't know how they would be able to do it, but that's what they would try to portray it as.
But that gets to what we were saying about the regionality of the SEC. It would sell really well
down there
in that corner of the South.
Yeah.
But you're missing out on a bunch of major, and people would still probably tune in, but not as many. It'd probably be harder to expand that reach.
It would be like pay-per-view. If we're up here. 1999, and then people they'd watch it the first year and be like, "Yeah, I'm done." So
would the SEC maybe be a surprise like Netflix partner or Amazon Prime partner?
I can see them doing something like that, but is it really? Is that a good match? No. So I mean, I
don't think so.
Yeah. So I mean, I could see it happening.
Well, that's where I go to your point too about there's no Nick Saban there to push back on this.
There's no Nick Saban there to close the deal.
Either way.
Kirby's kind of there, but he's kind of still a football guy, and he's I say this like loosely. He only has 2 national championships, right?
Right. But he just doesn't have he hasn't been around as long as Saban.
Right.
I mean, Saban did it over 25 years.
Right.
Kirby's been on the scene for what, 10?
Yeah, exactly.
If that.
He doesn't have the longevity. Hasn't been in the like DP says in the different corners and the conversations and smoke cigars with guys and all that type of stuff. So it's just like kind of like he's almost like a work in progress, if you know what I mean. So I think it could be there, it could get done, but I just don't think it's happening. I think you know what I would do if I was in college football? I don't know how they would be able to do it if you really are trying to make. If you don't want to, maybe go back to keep it at 12-team playoff. Maybe if you want to do away with championship weekend, I'm thinking you could do some kind of like specialty matchups or something like that. Like every, like how, like remember when like Michigan State played on the aircraft carrier or something like that. You could do something like that with real good teams and stuff like that, as long as and they wouldn't lose any like footing in the rankings and stuff like that. So essentially you'd be doing like a goodwill game or something like that. But and maybe do some off-season stuff and like games in the off-season, around spring ball. But back to the big dog I guess criteria, that would be interesting because I always said this. Now Oregon's been good the last couple of years, but up until just recently they were like more fashionable, but
they're trendy.
They're trendy.
Mm-hmm.
But the perception was they were national champs. When you walk through the airports or in the high schools, it was a lot more Oregon stuff than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So for them, now granted, they're closer to being a big dog now, both in perception, reality, money wise, and who they know, obviously, and who they have.
Mm-hmm.
But teams like that, you wonder who would be on the outside looking in. And then I would pose the question is this: would it be better to be so if you're close? So say they're doing this Super League, right? Just or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
big dog league. And so say they do the top 28 teams.
Sure.
So 28 teams. So if you're in anywhere from like 24, and then obviously it goes down to like 40, 44.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm 24 and down, I actually might go down to the other one. Because that means that I probably have financially standing that I'm up there with them. It's just something, maybe we're just not as good. Maybe we're like, I don't even want to call it Vanderbilt, but say we're a team like Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Well, we're building our program. We're starting to get really good players. We got all this private money, and we can start to do really big things. We got a great city. It's sellable. We could go down to the second league and really be the big dog.
Well, you think about in the Big Ten, Iowa and Illinois, for example, or maybe like a Washington,
right,
where there's enough resource there. There's enough of a track record of success without the national championship to show for it. Would those teams rather be in the big dog league, or would they rather take their chances with the second league and being at the top of that year after?
Right. And then you want to be there and dominate. That means it's kind of like almost going, like if you're a football player, say, you used to go to like you really want to go to Nebraska or you want to go to Michigan, and, they're kind of offering you late, and then you could go to, in this case, it would be like James Madison or like a Montana, and you go there and you level up in those first couple of years.
Yeah.
Well, then when somebody needs a linebacker, and say they you needed to be 205 to go to Power 4, and say you were just like 195, 195.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, now you're 225, 230. You have the film. Now you're hitting them over the head. So that's what I'm saying. You kind of go down the level back up.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially could be where it's at.
The other thing you mentioned that I think is worth diving into here as we continue this was the SEC's desire for control. And you also mentioned the payments that they were making, right? I mean, I think it's a pretty open secret at this point, right? So Southwest Conference stuff going on in the Southeastern Conference. Would it be fair to say, Jay, that the SEC making those under the table payments was ultimately its undoing?
Yeah, because I think eventually everybody else caught on, and they started to kind of be okay with it, and then they started to do it themselves. And then here comes the transfer portal, NIL, rev share, and then you open the floodgates to, I guess, millionaire, billionaire, like kind of donors. Like then everybody wanted to get involved, and they wanted to be close. They wanted that access to the team, and they wanted to, be a part of it. And they were able. Before, you could donate and not have access. Now you have access when you donate, and a lot of times these donors have decision-making, capabilities too, or at least in the know, right? Or give their opinions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what happened. Whereas it's down like when they were doing it before, McDonald's bags and all that type of stuff. And, you heard about the story about Fred Taylor where, it was like $150,000 if you went here and all this stuff with Cam Newton and all that. Nobody really was doing it to the magnitude like that up in the Big Ten or other schools. Very rarely. If it was kind of spot duty, and it was only for one or two players. Yeah. It was down there for Bama players. Like every player was taken care of. Now, some guys were taken care of more than others. They're living large.
Mm-hmm. And I would ask SEC fans and fans of the conference or team in the SEC, was it worth it? The SEC had a stretch, right, where it was Bama, the preeminent.
It was really worth it.
Georgia, was it
Probably
worth it for Georgia?
Everybody else, not so much.
Not so much?
Yeah. Like you didn't win anything because Bama was destroying you. Bama was destroyed you, so you didn't win anything.
Okay, well then I think that can parlay back into the Big Dogs conversation. If the old system worked so well for Bama and Georgia, and they weren't really able to bring you to their level, now by association, maybe you got a bit of an SEC bump, right? I mean, look at Missouri and Tennessee hanging on in the back half of the top 25s, just by virtue of their conference affiliation. But if two teams in the SEC really, truly, honestly profited off of the under the table NIL world, are you sure those are the ones you want to be in bed with? Is this your chance for get back? You hitched your wagon to these two programs, Alabama and Georgia, and where did that get you? To 0 national championships. Sure, maybe it got you some of a paycheck, right? You have Bama and Georgia, I think, to thank to some degree for winning, getting the college football playoff dollars rolling in, but you weren't able to put it to good use. You weren't able to get the same players. You have no championships to show for it. What's the mix of gratitude versus, well, look, where following us got you. We don't want to do it because it didn't actually benefit us like we thought it was going to.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I never thought about it like that because I view it as like it's worth it when you win a national championship or come to prominence. I mean, I look at it like your question, yes, it's a time to get your get back, but can you really get that get back? Like Tennessee, the University of Tennessee, you've lost, you can't even, you're really not the big dog in your state anymore. Florida, you're just
for a while.
You're just a cesspool. You're just Florida, right? You're just hot garbage. You are. I mean, let's be honest.
In
right?
football,
you can't in football. You can't get right. You can't. You down there can't even pay the players that you want. You had our boy D'Angelo that you got from Nebraska committing NCAA violations. You fire coaches and hire coaches, left and right. You make coaches fire good coaches and keep the bad ones, and then you fire the bad one, and then you want to keep the other bad one for a year too long. Then you didn't have enough money to fire the dude that was doing pretty good, and now you're starting all over again. So you can't get any get back because you just punch yourself in the face.
Yeah.
So then you have Ole Miss and Mississippi State. You guys are infighting. Ole Miss is probably thinking that they can get some get back. That's probably the ones that like, okay, I want to beat you on an even playing field. Mississippi, that's it. Even though LSU won in 2019, they haven't done much since, but they're viewed as a powerhouse. So it's kind of like they look down on everybody else. So they're going to go hang out with Bama in there, right?
Yeah.
Who else is there?
Well, I think the interesting part of this too is the Texas-Oklahoma angle.
Okay, so Texas-Oklahoma. So Texas definitely in Oklahoma goes with the big dogs.
They do, but I think in a different way because those are the newcomers to the league that were supposed to bring their own cloud. And Texas hasn't won a whole bunch of national championships, but again, they're perceived as in that club because of the money, resources. They've been successful enough. Oklahoma's got a long history of championships. They were in the 14 playoff more often than not. How seriously you took them is up to you. But let's think about this too. They were the splinter group from the Big 12.
Yeah.
Texas more so. I mean, Texas has really jumped conferences, right? I know Nebraska has in its history too, but Nebraska's been more geographically similar than Texas has, less jumping around, more expansion and making it regionally based for Nebraska than Texas. And so I wonder if you get to an Alabama versus Georgia faction and a Texas and Oklahoma faction of teams where Bama and Georgia did a lot to bring money to the SEC. They won championships, and where would these schools be without that money? But if championships are the standard, now Texas knows how to break away. If Texas is on board, maybe that's why Bama and Georgia think you want them to say, hey, you left the Big 12. What does that mean for how can you help us get out of this? You have some experience in that as a program. But I wonder, too, if Texas and Oklahoma are like, no, we're good. We like being here. We're figuring out how to compete. And if they can make friends, some of those other non-title winning teams in the SEC to say, hey, these were your leaders. Look where that got you richer. But what more did you accomplish?
Oh, that's the most Texas thing ever. Come in the conference and start.
Oh, it's Buddy Garrity.
Yeah. Coming in there and just start taking people.
Yeah.
And then,
we saw that firsthand here.
But then also they're the gatekeepers though, too, because if I'm, LSU, Georgia, Bama, and the big dogs, right? I'm trying to recruit both of those to come with us. Come on, man. We're blue bloods. You know exactly where you need to be. I'm sorry for kind of making a little rough on you when you first came in. I sincerely apologize. I'll find a way to make it right. But we have to be in partnership. It's the betterment for us, you and me, and the world. That's what they have to do. Yep. But if Texas push back on it, Texas will Texas. They will, man. And they did it here.
They did.
They're part of the problem.
They did it with the Southwest. They did with the Big 8. They did with the Big 12.
Yeah. Trust me. I know. It started messing up our training table. So our brother was getting extra benefits because we were getting a steak every once in a while. Like they wasn't getting steak with those big old cows with them horns. I wonder if you can eat those.
Oh, yeah. Some of them. Some of them. Not all of them.
You ever seen one up close?
Yes.
You know, they jacked up my boy Octavius McFarlane with one. He was messing with one on a golf course.
Wait. Like the Yellowstone Buffalo style messed him up?
No, like one of them things on the big horns?
Yeah, the longhorn. Yeah. But I'm saying, what did it look like, the guy in Yellowstone where he just got...
Oh, no. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
He was messing with the thing and yanking on his horn or whatever it is.
Oh.
And the dude, I guess, kind of like, what did he do? Something with his foot. And he lifted his head up like that. Tavy went out the screen. The best part about it is when he hit the ground, his golf ball rolled right there. Oh, yeah. And you know what's funny?
Absolutely incredible.
You know what's funny? If that would have went on the internet, it would have went viral, and he probably would have made $1 million.
It's not too late. Please tell me there's footage somewhere.
Oh, there's footage. He definitely would have been on Ridiculousness.
It's not too late.
And he's one of my favorite people in the world. Couldn't happen to a better dude. I'm glad he's all right, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't there, but I saw it, and I was like, dang.
The last point on this, then we'll go to break. You mentioned LSU. I think they're in a really fascinating position. Would you see LSU aligning more with that Alabama, Georgia camp for old SEC? I mean, especially that LSU-Alabama series and rivalry? Or with LSU, would they be the Oklahoma and Texas faction? Because you can't tell me there's less money in College Station and Austin than there is in Tuscaloosa and Athens.
I can see Texas going with the first option, but I can see Texas A&M with that oil money. It's like, you know what it is? Texas views Texas A&M as the unkept cousin that got that has part of the family legacy of billions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Unshaved. Shows up to events in just like a dress shirt instead of a tux and stuff like that.
Oh, for sure.
That's what they view Texas A&M as. But Texas A&M got that money though,
right?
Yeah.
I love it.
They can match dollar for dollar.
We'll stick in football. Over the last few hours, # worth the cost. NFL players coming at the NFL for the stadiums that have had grass installed for the World Cup. They're wondering, hey, why can't we have that for us? We'll get to that to wrap up Hour 1.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy, here we go. Just keep your eye on the ball. All right, just swing right through it. Yeah, good job. Way to go. Hey, run it out. Okay.
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
The best barbecue deal in town is at Hog Wild. We're serving up a $5.99 meal deal that includes a 1-meat sandwich, your favorite classic side and a drink, all for just $5.99. Craving brisket? Upgrade to our tender, slow-smoked beef brisket for only $1.50 more. Join us for lunch or dinner, or order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway, Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Looking for the right utility tractor for your acreage? Find it at Landmark Implement. Shop our selection of used John Deere compact tractors from 1 through 5 series with the power and versatility to track mowing, yard work, snow removal, and more. For a limited time, get 2.9% financing for 36 months, followed by 6.2% for 24 months with approved credit. We've got the right fit for your property and your budget. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or visit us online at landmarkimp.com today and experience the Landmark difference.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy, so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Right now, lease a 2026 Ford F-150 for $195 per month for 36 months. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1009974, $195 per month, lease for 36 months with approved credit, 7,500 miles per year, 10,000 due at signing, no security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 8/31/26.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Sports remind us what's possible when we believe in each other, when teamwork and trust matter just as much as talent. On and off the field or court, we're stronger when we work together. That's why at UBT, your money has people who have your back. From financial coaching and goal setting to home loans and business support, success happens when you've got the right team, and you'll find yours at UBT. Union Bank and Trust, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
At Schwezo Construction, safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Build with us. Work safe, go home proud. We're hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back, on and off the job site. If you're ready to be part of a company where your safety and success come first, visit Schwezo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com and apply today. Schwezo Construction, 40 years strong and still building the future.
At DWE Generations, having a plan matters, especially when it comes to protecting what's most important. They work with individuals, families, and business owners to help make smart financial decisions that support life today and set the foundation for generations. David Darlington, Russell Walton, and Cody Eiler bring decades of experience, and their dedicated team provides follow-through, answering questions, explaining next steps, and staying connected as life evolves. DWE Generations, a generational wealth planning firm. DWE Generations is a marketing name for individuals doing business as representatives of Northwestern Mutual. Visit generations.nm.com or call 402-483-7871 and ask for David, Russell, or Cody.
Here's your updated 93.7 The Ticket forecast, sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical. Slight chance of thunderstorms this afternoon, otherwise cloudy skies expected. High temperatures reach up to 86. Easterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly clear skies. Tonight, slight chance of thunderstorms, lows dip down to about 66. That's your updated forecast on Lincoln's home for the Kansas City Royals. 93.7 The Ticket. I'm meteorologist Kara Foster. Right now, it's 80 degrees.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Been a great hour one, putting a bow on it here in a very rapid fashion. Austin Orman, Jay Foreman with you. Big thanks to Heartland of Nebraska Windows for their sponsorship of hour one of the show. You can call them for more info, 402-430-3852, or visit them online, heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Since about lunchtime, Jay, seems like there's a coordinated push from the NFLPA of the social media campaign, hashtag worth the cost, of grass stadiums, essentially. So for all the World Cup matches that were hosted at NFL stadiums, grass fields were brought in, and in a lot of cases have now been taken out. A whole bunch of players have tweeted about it. Caleb Williams among them, a bunch from the Green Bay Packers. You can go down the list. Tucker Kraft has some of the better young tight ends in the league. Laramie Tunsil, Harrison Phillips, George Kittle has his face on the NFLPA's tweet about that even from a few weeks ago. Solomon Thomas, Neville Gallimore, my guys, Zaire Franklin, on and on through the list. Interesting when we hear this push from NFL players, from time to time about how much better grass is for them to play on. What is it that they would have to give up to get grass fields in the CBA? Like, there's got to be no other way for that to happen, right? Are we talking like a 20-game schedule for grass fields? Like, how drastic is this going to get before it's more than just a social media storm?
Hey, listen, man. I swear, man, these dudes get paid to play with the okie doke. Like, they'll give up more benefits or something to get grass fields. The majority of them ain't going to be on for another but a year or two. And the guys that really don't, that like George Kittle don't have nothing to worry about. Sure, you do it thinking about it for the betterment team, but don't you give up nothing for it. Nothing. It's because it's for a better product, and better product means more players. In their mind, they'll be healthier, and then it depends on what data you look at, But ultimately, the owners will find a way to fleece the players. The players allow the owners to fleece themselves.
That part. The owners will allow the players to do it. What's the NFLPA got to do at this point? Like how does the NFLPA approach this, right? Hey, we know you guys want this, but here's what we think it will cost you to give up, and we promise you in the long run it's not worth it.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
It's just interesting that it gets to this point every year, and I mean, I get it, man. So, some of those fields that, that when you saw for the World Cup, I mean, those are fast fields, man. And, I just know like in Houston, obviously Houston, they were able to kind of, came in on pallets and they were able to kind of grow fresh grass every, have it just out in the ready. And so our field was really good. And, some places like Cleveland wouldn't be able to do that, but you could find some go-between. I mean, I know Green Bay has a heating system underneath their field. So, which then will allow the grass to grow back in between time and stuff. You would maybe change scheduling as far as how many home games you have, that would be maybe a concession that the players would have to understand that you might have back-to-back road games, so you can't complain about that, but you want to have better home fields and the better surface that you're going to play at for the opposing team that you're going to play. So I understand what they're talking about. I know that at least when I was in the league, AstroTurf was way cheaper. And so obviously that, was an advantage for, the owners. But then also, there's a lot of teams that really played well on AstroTurf. One was your Indianapolis Colts. They were extremely hard to defend on that on that RCA Dome on turf. And so I get it what they're saying. It'll be interesting to see if it moves the needle at all. All this type of stuff always generally comes up before training camp, and it won't get talked about until they have league meetings next year. But, what if you can lay the foundation now, then why not?
And the flip side of that is the Chicago Bears, who keep that grass knee high and play on mud.
I know. And then they're talking about moving to Indiana.
Still one of the crazy.
Yeah, I just can't believe it. There should be a mandate in the NFL handbook of teams that should never be able to leave. Buffalo, Green Bay, Cleveland, Chicago, Dallas. You're stuck.
Come on, you know who you are, right?
Yeah, you know exactly who you are. What are you in Indiana?
Philly,
Bears?
I think, in Pittsburgh,
Philly,
in that.
New York, all that stuff. So, it'd be interesting to see. I mean, I get it. We were, obviously there's a discussion here at Nebraska potentially at some point in time to have, some
Grass
sort of grass fields, but so we'll see.
We shall indeed see. We will also see how some of these hiring decisions work out. Some contract details for Mike Boynton and an interesting comparison from the Omaha World Herald for Matt Campbell. Let's get into that to start hour 2 of Old School.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, take the worm, put it on the hook. Now bring your pole back and throw it forward. And just let the fish come to you.
I got a bite! It's a big one, Dad!
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
At Schwezo Construction, safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Build with us. Work safe, go home proud. We're hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back, on and off the job site. If you're ready to be part of a company where your safety and success come first, visit Schwezo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com and apply today. Schwezo Construction, 40 years strong and still building the future.
At DWE Generations, having a plan matters, especially when it comes to protecting what's most important. They work with individuals, families, and business owners to help make smart financial decisions that support life today and set the foundation for generations. David Darlington, Russell Walton, and Cody Eiler bring decades of experience, and their dedicated team provides follow-through, answering questions, explaining next steps, and staying connected as life evolves. DWE Generations, a generational wealth planning firm. DWE Generations is a marketing name for individuals doing business as representatives of Northwestern Mutual. Visit generations.nm.com or call 402-483-7871 and ask for David, Russell, or Cody.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Sports remind us what's possible when we believe in each other. When teamwork and trust matter just as much as talent. On and off the field or court, we're stronger when we work together. That's why at UBT, your money has people who have your back. From financial coaching and goal setting to home loans and business support. Success happens when you've got the right team, and you'll find yours at UBT. Union Bank and Trust, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier, furry friends.
Here's your updated 93.7 The Ticket forecast, sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical. Slight chance of thunderstorms this afternoon, otherwise cloudy skies expected. High temperatures reach up to 86. Easterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly clear skies. Tonight, slight chance of thunderstorms, lows dip down to about 66. That's your updated forecast on Lincoln's home for the Kansas City Royals. 93.7 The Ticket. I'm meteorologist Kara Foster. Right now, it's 80 degrees.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Whether it's a range session to get accurate club distances, 18 holes with some buddies, or a one-on-one lesson with Back Nine's PGA teaching professional, their top-of-the-line full-swing simulators are there to help you lower your score in perfect conditions. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake. Back Nine Golf, the premier indoor golf experience.
Hi, Kendall Warnock here, owner of A1 Automotive in Seward. We're more than just an automotive repair shop. We're part of this community. Our mission is simple: serve people well, build trust, and provide reliable vehicle repairs at a fair price. From oil changes to diagnostics, major repairs, we're here to help keep your family safe on the road. A1 Automotive, 408 Main Street, Seward, Nebraska.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln, this is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Troy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score! Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black shirts, answer the call one more time.
And Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln, your tire store next door with 4 Lincoln locations. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. Welcome in hour 2 of the show. Austin and Jay with you till 6 o'clock here Central Time. Anywhere it is you get your ticket content. Radio dial, free app for your phone, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Allo Channel 961. Podcast listeners, we welcome and appreciate you as well. Thanks for dialing up the show. Don't forget, if you appreciate the show and there's someone in your life that you think might enjoy the takes, the content, and everything else in between, share the ticket with them, right? Simple to do. Hey, heard these 2 yahoos talking. They made some good points. You know, we try to help you win your dinner time discussions, right? We're especially thankful when you have family in town, right? The uncle that thinks he knows more about sports than you, just drop some Old School on him and you can put him in his place. Or shoot, maybe we agree with your uncle and we'll put you in your place. Either way it works. Lots to get to here in this next couple segment section here, Jay. Starting with some Big Ten kind of hiring news and comparisons. I want to hit the Michigan basketball one first with Mike Boynton Jr. So we did get the interim tag essentially removed, the 2-year contract or the 1-year guaranteed contract with the kind of an option for the second year. But it's more about, will these options end up vesting? So this is reported by Detroit News, and Dylan Burkhart with some Michigan site retweeted it. And here's the terms for Mike Boynton. According to the employment agreement, there are 3 academic and compliance criteria Boynton must meet: no level 1 or level 2 NCAA violations, no material misconduct or violation of university policies or rules, and all the players on the basketball team must be academically eligible. You would think that is walking and chewing gum.
Right, I was about to say, that might be the easiest. Essentially, don't be Sharon Moore.
But then you get to the on-court stuff. So you have to hit all 3 of those.
Yeah.
And then here's the next paragraph. Then there are at least 2 benchmarks Boynton will need to hit relating to the team's success: 24 regular season wins, a top 4 finish in the Big Ten standings, a conference tournament title, and a Sweet 16 appearance. He gets 2 out of the 4 of those, and his second year vests. There is, though, the shoot the moon option for Mike Boynton. If they win 23 games, finish 5th in the Big Ten, do not win the conference tournament, and that's all off the table. If Michigan reaches the Final Four, he vests the second year.
Oh, I mean, it's not too. I mean, it's like a prove it contract for him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's 2 ways he could take it, because I think it's 2 years, right?
1 year with those option, essentially. Yeah.
It's like they don't believe in you, but they kind of do. But they're hopeful that you prove them right, and you kind of go along with what Dusty made. Kind of like the flow over.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we've seen some potential in you, but we're not too sure about you.
Mm-hmm.
But the only way we can be sure is that you actually do not mess up the non-negotiables, and then you actually show the glimpse that we have heard or seen in you at some point at the University of Michigan, because now we are thought of as a basketball juggernaut now.
Mm-hmm.
For him, I mean, I like it. The class is good.
You only lose 1 player so far.
Right. I mean, I like my chances. I like my chances in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you have confidence in yourself, and obviously he's getting paid, not the top, but he's getting, compensated maybe a little bit below than average. But you know what? I think that if I are able to hit them benchmarks, I think my agent's going to have a lot. Those things are great. My agent's going to be talking to you a lot different, because my profile done went up, so I'll be able to make that back on the second time. I kind of like it for him. It kind of reminds me in the NBA on how they doing the Portland coach with the owner,
Thiago Splitter, or the new one, Mike and Nori.
How they did him. All right, man. We know you were a good assistant. You're probably the only one that realistically want to take this job, considering who I am as an owner, because I'm awful cheap, and I like to squeeze you. But if you show that you can actually win and we get butts in the stands, I'm sure I'll compensate you that's worth it. So, yeah.
It's both a slap in the face and a vote of confidence to Boynton. We're going to give you stuff we think you can achieve, but also understand that we wouldn't have hired you.
So which is it first, though? Is it the punch in the gut or the slap on the butt?
Oh, it's the punch in the gut first, without a doubt.
Now,
we wanted someone else.
It's a rabbit punch to the gut, not a full-fledged punch. It's not a Mike Tyson hook to the ribs. It's a kind of jab to the gut.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to see if you were tough enough.
Right? Exactly.
We believed in you the whole time, man. We were just playing. We got this new contract over. We all knew you would get right, Austin.
Mm-hmm.
We knew he was going to be good.
There's a reason we gave it to you within a week, right?
We wanted you, because we believed in you so much, to prove to everybody else what we already knew. Get out there and do
Go
that.
get him. Go get him, champ.
Take that new contract, man. 4 years down the road. Because you know what he's going to do? 1 year. All right, we got to pay you.
Pay him.
No, Kirk.
Well, that's just the thing, is the guy, again, that I heard when this first came down was Josh Schertz. Too late to go get him now. SLU, St. Louis has invested a lot of money in that roster. I mean, power conference level investment in that roster. Schertz and May are friends. Well, if Boynton hits those marks in that second year vest and he's there, do you fire him anyways? If you have Josh Schertz, who has the Dusty May stamp of approval, they're friends, even if Boynton does all that, are you still cold-blooded? Are you ruthless enough to go get Josh Schertz if you think he's a higher ceiling, more consistent option than Mike Boynton. That'll be interesting to watch.
I think you do. If you feel that that's your guy, you got to go get it and come back with it. You got to deal with paying a little money, and Michigan obviously showing the ability to handle that. I think you go get him if you think that you've had your eye on him for that long. I think you go get him.
I think you do too. That's not even anti-Mike Boynton, because I think he's a good coach.
Yeah.
Would I trust him with a basketball program if I was GM? Probably not as head coach. But as late in the cycle as they weren't getting anyone to jump.
Yeah.
Right. Kyle Whittingham basketball edition was not falling into their lap. They did what they had to do. And Kevin Sweeney, who writes for Sports Illustrated, makes a good point. Michigan can always fire him, even if the second-year vest. You just have to pay him for the year, and that's probably small potatoes to a place like Michigan, right? He probably is not one of the top 50 highest-paid head coaches in college basketball this year.
Right.
So
yeah,
for 1 year,
and you also have to forecast that he'll land on his feet.
Yeah.
And so that that new contract will almost probably offset what you would owe him in his buyout. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. The other interesting option: what if he stuck around? What if he stayed an assistant on Schertz's staff? Yeah. Hey, it might be a little weird.
It'd be like Pry with James Franklin.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. Boynton has a really good reputation in terms of
a year.
The dude he is. But
if it's like, okay, you stay here and you're going to be my first, assistant, and we're going to actively try to get you into a bigger job. Sorry, we kind of.
But you understand, right?
You understand, right?
Now go prove it wrong.
Hey, here's an extra $100,000. Now you really understand. You know what? Here's a couple, trips on the jet.
Right.
Take your family out, man. Take them down to Boca Raton. One of our donors, since they got a house for you. We'll see you when you get back.
I can see Michigan doing that.
I can see them doing it. And you know what? To be honest with you, as I'm saying it, that might be all right.
And of course, the other question is, will Ward Manuel be the one making that decision?
Negative.
He lives for another month. We'll see if it's for another year.
Let me ask you this: if you don't fire him soon, does that boil over into the season? Because
it has to, right?
Because okay, so he's the AD. He's not on solid ground. That's a pretty fair assessment or assumption. Okay, so say something happens like internally in football, and it doesn't even have to be the scandal, but just say Whittingham needs something, or whatever it is. Who does he go to, and does he respect him?
Yeah, I mean, president's
gone.
Now
I know he hired him, but also he's not oblivious. Like the conversations, how does that conversation right now, July 17th, if they're at the Michigan club, Whittingham goes in and Emmanuel's in there, and he hadn't seen him since like earlier in the week. Hey man, what's up? You ain't return my call. What's going on? Are you going to be around? Because he did hire him now, right? So really, I mean, so if you hired me and that's about you, I'm thinking about both of us. I'm thinking about, okay, if you got this new guy might not like an older coach at Michigan. He might want somebody else and make my tenure harder here, and eventually kind of make it so hard or toxic that I'm either going to retire or resign, or they're going to find a way for me having a bad season, then I'm out of here, and then they won't support me. Right. Or he or she won't support me.
Because you're probably not firing Kyle Whittingham for cause.
No,
seems like you're with a darn good reputation.
An example is like what Bo Pelini was saying when he was, this last year there, and he won 9 games, is that when, he wanted to kind of evolve and kind of do the things that maybe were thought of as a negative, like, recruiting, and be kind of more of the like whining, shaking hands and kissing babies type of dude. He said he wasn't getting the support and couldn't even talk to Icourse. Yeah. There's a story out there. I think Sipple said it in one time, an earlier break, that he was talking to a couple of the coaches, and he was like, I can't get him on the phone. And then when he does, the message was relayed back to him that you're not allowed to call. You had to talk to somebody else. The text line, if you heard it, let us know. I mean, it was crazy,
man.
And so hence why you got the leaked audio. Homeboy was hot.
Piping mad.
Yeah.
Well, the Whittingham aspect, I think, is fascinating, too, because how much did he know going into this? Probably
how much did his agent know?
Did his agent know?
That's the bigger question. How much did your agent know? Because if he's a good agent, He knows people that know the answers and did what he did or didn't tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Because if your agent told you that the guy that hired you or that wanted you is on, good footing, and the whole Sharon Moore thing is done, the Harbaugh and the assistant coaches, he's still here. He's going to be here along with you for the next, let's say, 4 years,
Mhm.
Based on the length of his 4 years. And then he's not. Oh, yeah. You get a termination letter.
Right quick.
Yeah.
Well, think about where Whittingham came from as well. Utah's been more stable, but not perfectly stable.
Oh, no.
And he may or may not have been pushed out by his successor, who didn't want to wait anymore. And so I can see Whittingham taking that Michigan job because, okay, you don't want me, I'll show you, just to go into a place with shaky ground. I can see Kyle Whittingham saying, I'm too old for this crap.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go through an athletic director change. I didn't want to have to be, I know he understands the responsibility that comes with, leading a football program at a university like Michigan. But I'm sure he also kind of viewed this as, hey, this is my last hurrah. Whether it's 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, whatever it is, I went to Michigan trusting that we're all on solid footing. We're all on the same page. I can be their bridge guy, bring some stability, have some success, retire happy. I don't think he signed up for this. I don't.
Not right away. And then also where he came from, and I wanted to also throw that in there. What if Michigan changes their mind about the private equity money? And that's the same thing that happened over in Utah. And he has more experience with that at Utah.
Good call.
Because of what happened. And that might be part of the reason why he got jammed up right there, where he's like, you got to make a decision, make a decision. And then he's like, here we go again. And then he's like, you know what? I'll take my resignation fee, and you know what? I'll go just ride my Harley and chill. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I wouldn't blame him. Not for a second.
Yeah, Michigan is crazy. Michigan is a blue blood football wise, blue blood athletically, just period. And they're good at hockey and everything, basketball, and good at women's basketball too. And
baseball had a run.
Baseball, everything. Boy, they got some stuff going on up there. I mean, I'm serious.
Oh yeah, yeah. And yet they can win through it.
They can cheat through it.
Okay, they can cheat through it.
This year, the basketball team didn't cheat through it. The football team did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Baseball, I don't think cheated.
No.
Back and during its run.
No.
I don't think.
But they've always kind of operated with the win at all costs. I want to win type of mentality.
You've talked about Michigan Madness. They
never change. Now they're like what Michigan players remind me of. They're the guys that they're the frat dudes or whatever. They're in the sailing club. They're big dudes. They're tough.
Yes,
you know
I love
what I'm
where
saying?
this is going.
The sailing club. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they're out there on Lake Michigan every
the
weekend.
Boating club and all that stuff. And they go take their boats to the docks or whatever it's called. And they're big dudes. And they usually try to be bullies because they try to bully guys that they think that aren't probably like as financially like off as them. But they're the dudes that wear they wear like the plaid little kind of shorts, the bro shorts. And then they have like the belt, and then they have the shirts with the collar on it, and then they have the sleeves rolled up.
Are they tying the sweater around?
That you just took the words right out of my mouth.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
aviators probably.
Yeah, and then as soon as they get punched in the nose and they got blood on their shirt, they think they're ready to call the cops on you. But they've been
assault.
Yeah, but
wait till my dad hears about this.
But they've been doing some dirty stuff all the time. Yeah, so that's Michigan players for you.
Would you rather deal with them or the unkempt cousin who still came into the money?
I like the unkept cousin, man. Because you're going to have a
Even though he's kind of in a cult and he does these weird like cheers every so often.
Yeah, but you're going to have a good time once he gets turned up. You
will.
When the parents go to bed, the family reunion going to get loose.
It's a nice boat, though. Like Michigan in the summer, though.
Now, listen, what goes on in his boat is going to be a little bit different. He's going to be the love boat. He's going to have that. Remember the Minnesota Vikings love boat?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that's up for sale.
Kind of like the Giants love boat.
Yeah.
The OBJ.
But the Vikings have been winning since then. The Giants ain't won nothing. But the original Love Boat is up for auction.
No way.
Or up for sale.
Huh.
We
we'll go at 99.1?
Yeah, you
That's all I got right now.
We can take it out there. Was it Branch Stoker? How you think it works?
Maybe drive it all the way out to McConaughey just to be safe.
Just drive around. Yeah.
Okay, let's go to break. The Penn State angle of this. Really interesting comparison from the Omaha World Herald for Matt Campbell and Penn State. We'll keep the Big Ten hiring conversation rolling next on Old School.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, take the worm, put it on the hook. Now bring your pole back and throw it forward. And just let the fish come to you.
I got a bite! I got a bite! It's a big one, Dad!
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
At DWE Generations, having a plan matters, especially when it comes to protecting what's most important. They work with individuals, families, and business owners to help make smart financial decisions that support life today and set the foundation for generations. David Darlington, Russell Walton, and Cody Eiler bring decades of experience, and their dedicated team provides follow-through, answering questions, explaining next steps, and staying connected as life evolves. DWE Generations, a generational wealth planning firm. DWE Generations is a marketing name for individuals doing business as representatives of Northwestern Mutual. Visit generations.nm.com or call 402-483-7871 and ask for David, Russell, or Cody.
Are you looking for a fresh new hangout spot? Let me tell you about Liquid Assets Sports Bar, where Mondays mean new weekly drink and food features. With 23 taps, a full lineup of cans and bottles, and 40 TVs blasting every sports package out there, you'll never worry about missing a play. Savor high-end spirits at their stylish back shelf bar, enjoy a healthy, family-friendly menu, and catch all your favorite teams every day. Doors open daily at 11 a.m. Liquid Assets located on 2755 Jamie Lane in South Lincoln.
Power Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white truck, you know the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built upon hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with room for advancement.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return to work exchange policy, so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Right now, lease a 2026 Ford F-150 for $195 per month for 36 months. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1009974, $195 per month lease for 36 months with approved credit, 7,500 miles per year, 10,000 due at signing, no security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 8/31/26.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at HamiltonIsBusiness.com.
Hi, Kendall Warnock here, owner of A1 Automotive in Seward. We're more than just an automotive repair shop. We're part of this community. Our mission is simple: serve people well, build trust, provide reliable vehicle repairs at a fair price. From oil changes to diagnostics, major repairs, we're here to help keep your family safe on the road. A1 Automotive, 408 Main Street, Seward, Nebraska.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at PAHLincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier, furry friends.
Right here in Lincoln, young people are waiting for someone like you. At Big Brothers Big Sisters, mentoring happens out in the community. Grabbing ice cream, shooting hoops, playing music, or just hanging out and talking. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up, spending time, and building a positive, consistent connection with a young person. Just a few hours each month can make a lasting impact. Be big. Start something life-changing today. Learn more at bbbsmidlands.org.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Whether it's a range session to get accurate club distances, 18 holes with some buddies, or a one-on-one lesson with Back Nine's PGA teaching professional, their top-of-the-line full-swing simulators are there to help you lower your score in perfect conditions. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake. Back Nine Golf, the premier indoor golf experience.
Are you looking for a fresh new hangout spot? Let me tell you about Liquid Assets Sports Bar, where Mondays mean new weekly drink and food features. With 23 taps, a full lineup of cans and bottles, and 40 TVs blasting every sports package out there, you'll never worry about missing a play. Savor high-end spirits at their stylish back shelf bar, enjoy a healthy, family-friendly menu, and catch all your favorite teams every day. Doors open daily at 11 a.m. Liquid Assets located on 2755 Jamie Lane in South Lincoln.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket.
Halfway home on a Friday, halfway through till the weekend. Hope you all have some fun weekend plans lined up. Thanks for making Old School part of your Friday afternoon into your early evening. I'm Austin. He is Jay. Big thanks to Schwezo Construction for their sponsorship of Old School. At Schwezo Construction, safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Schwezo is hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work, as well as the team that has your back on and off the job site. You can apply today at schwezo.com, schwisow.com. 40-plus years strong in business, Schwezo Construction. Okay, I'm going to read you this from Sam McEwen, who wrote a nice piece on omaha.com. He tweets, the connection between Nebraska football's missteps 20 years ago and Wisconsin's stumbling these days is unmistakable. Now a new Big Ten team has entered the chat. Penn State, where the long-term consistency of James Franklin wasn't enough to stave off a mid-season firing in Happy Valley. After a search whose length would have had Steve Peterson nodding with recognition, Penn State AD Pat Kraft hired a well-respected coach who did more with less at a historically weak program, earning kudos from journalists and peers alike, especially when he beat the top teams in his league. Matt Campbell also won just 56.7% of his games at Iowa State, which prompts the question, did Penn State just hire its own Mike Riley?
No, I think Matt Campbell's a good coach. I do.
I agree.
You can't deny that.
Nope.
Is he a dominating coach? No, but I think they struck out enough. I think that's the best coach they could get at that point in time. Because Whittingham was still at Utah at that time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they would have probably shook the trees a little bit, I'm sure maybe Whittingham would have been the best. And then also you have it a shorter term, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
they tried Sataki.
Yeah. Now I wouldn't compare. It's almost like you're using coaching at Iowa State early in your career against him. He built that program up for essentially the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to take some L's.
Yeah.
But they're pretty legit, or we're pretty legit and competitive with less resources. Whereas, like, I see the comparison to Mike Riley. I do. Is he the total? He's the total opposite of, James Franklin. But
is he the total opposite?
Like, just personality wise.
Okay.
A little
bit
bit
more reserved.
Yeah, reserved.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the reason why they fired James. I think James Franklin kind of became a little bit of a control freak, pushed and we're pushing some of the old guard a little bit too hard for more stuff for the betterment of the team. I mean, remember he had that thing, he was mad about the runway because they had to, go down to Harrisburg to fly out to California and stuff like that. So I see the comparison. I'm not necessarily, I agree 100%.
I see where Sam's coming from with it, even if I'm not fully on board. I think that both Campbell and Franklin would fall in the program builder camp for me.
Mhm.
The one big difference that stands out to me just off the top is that James Franklin had a bunch of experience at big time schools before.
He was at Vanderbilt before.
He was at Vandy. He bounced around, I think, Kansas State maybe for a
Yeah.
while as well. And now that's a big time program.
Yeah, he
but
been
it's at
Power
least
4,
major
though.
conference,
Yeah,
right?
Power 4.
And Campbell came from Toledo.
Yeah.
But no disrespect to the University of Toledo, it's just not at that level, you know,
Right.
in terms of money, operations, finances, and all that stuff in between. And I think it was funny enough. I think it was James Franklin in that piece I referenced yesterday from The Athletic that said we have to learn to do more with more. It's great to do more with less,
Yeah.
but sometimes you also have to be good at managing more, which is where I can understand where there would be some skepticism for, you know, a Mike Riley, who, yeah, maybe had some NFL time, but coaching the Chargers in San Diego as the 17th highest
At that time.
popularity team
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
state, as compared to Nebraska, where it's
Yeah.
number one. Even if the money is bigger out there, it doesn't hit the same as it does in Nebraska. And same kind of thing for Campbell, right? He made something respectable
Yeah.
of Iowa State football, which would have been, you know, borderline unthinkable, you know, 30 years ago, maybe even 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. He did that. You have to give him credit. But he also has never dealt with money like this before. And I think that some guys can scale up, some guys can't. Mike Riley either couldn't, or he didn't, or he wasn't allowed the opportunity to. I think Matt Campbell's probably a better football coach. I think it's probably a bigger deal to take Iowa State from the depth that it was to the school best ranking, making the top 10, you know, verge of the playoff, with sure a couple clunkers in
Yeah.
there, to your point. I think that's more impressive than what Mike Riley accomplished on aggregate, especially since Campbell came from the lower ranks and has kind of slowly moved his way up the ladder. But it sure doesn't erase the risk.
Yeah. I mean, it's always risk when you fire a winning coach. Even though they were struggling a little bit this year. But, you know, look, I mean, James Franklin, you know, his credibility and obviously his record speaks for itself. And so there's a ton of risk in the way Penn State went about it, right? And maybe in their mind it was a year too late or a year too long, but, you know, they had a magical run the year before. And that's part of the reason why they pulled the plug so quickly. They didn't want to give him a chance to kind of right the ship and you know, obviously stay any longer than they wanted to keep him around. So with Mike Riley, I think, you know, sometimes, I mean, because he was at USC, then he was Oregon State, and right, he was USC wide receiver coach, right?
That sounds right. Yeah.
And then he went to Oregon State, and then he went to the NFL, or you know, whatever it is. Sometimes sometimes you can get kind of smokescreened by him being in the NFL, and the Chargers weren't very good. I mean, you got to think there's a story there when he wanted to wear pads in practice 2 days in a row. Junior Seau told everybody don't wear pads and don't go out to practice.
Guess who won that fight?
Yeah, Junior Seau. So, and then he came here sight unseen. I mean, it was kind of like a little golden parachute retirement deal. You know, it's 500. I'd like to think Matt Campbell, with the same situation coming here from Toledo with our resources, right? I think he probably would have maybe been higher than 500. So I think he's a better coach. But there is some risk just because it's actually, in my opinion, a lot of risk for Campbell. Not that he left Iowa State, because he probably hit a ceiling there. Obviously with the landscape of college football changing. But then also, are you really going to a spot that really wants you long term and it will support you in, let's just say, not rebuilding, but reshaping this program to what you view the program should be? And or will they find a way to pull the plug on you early because they know you're a coach, you're going to coach for the rest of your life, because that's what it seems like he'll do. And then therefore, then you may have made a wrong move because you could have stayed back at Iowa State and been, you know, well taken care of and have patience and job longevity. And another job of this magnitude might have came your way.
Go back, let's say 8 years or so, and, you know, Nebraska's looking for an athletic director. I would have rather Nebraska have hired Jamie Pollard than Matt Campbell, you know, for relative positions. I think Pollard's a better AD than Campbell as a football coach, but I still think Campbell's a darn good football coach. I mean, especially with the right support and whatnot. We have some stuff from our text line here, Jay. Let's throw it your way. Justin from Hickman wants your opinion. Was firing James Franklin most similar to Solich, Pelini, or neither?
That's a great question, man. That is an awesome question. I will say Pelini.
Okay.
Personality differences. Couldn't win the big game. Obviously, James Franklin against ranked teams wasn't very good, and I think it was that. But I could see a little Frank in there just because it became personal at some point, I think.
McEwen's article gives his opinion on that. He says there's obviously some Osborne in there, couldn't win the big game. But then Solich wasn't given the chance to turn it around.
We're going to fire you before we give you a legit chance.
Absolutely. And then one of the last paragraphs in the opening part from Sam, we bring in a third Nebraska coach, Bo Pelini. Franklin was considerably more restrained in his sideline demeanor than Bo, but he got into it on occasion with fans, and he often seemed to be unhappy with one thing or another like Pelini, and he inspired the same kind of loyalty in players as Pelini. And like Pelini, Franklin won his share of games, but like Pelini, he didn't win the biggest games, and he also was not given the chance to figure out how.
Yeah, I think it's right on point with him. Maybe he probably feels he didn't get the support he needed at that point at that point in time in his tenure. But ultimately, I think when you get a new AD, in recent years, like he did, unless you're really, really winning, your time is ticking, and that's what sucks. But again, the landing spot at Virginia Tech is awful good for James Franklin, so he's winning.
Well, $230 million investment they plan to make will help matters. D-Man wants to know, was there ever a real push for Penn State to hire Rule?
I don't know.
Either there was, or there was some real good agenting going on.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, only Penn State can offer or answer that. Only Matt Rule can answer that. I have no idea.
Rosebud from Elmwood. I don't understand why Nebraska doesn't go get a coach that already has the hardware under their belt, like they've got a Natty. They've been there, done that. Besides Scott Frost, I've had to look up who the last three coaches are on Google to find out who they
are. Well, look, the coaches with the hardware are where they got the hardware at, generally. So they're hard to come by. Winning a championship is not that easy. But, look, I mean, we got Coach Rule, and you got to let him, kind of do his thing. And, there's a lot of pressure this year to make a significant improvement against really good on paper, at least on paper, really good competition. So it's a great opportunity for him to cement himself, here in Nebraska, and sure, it's great. Sure. Look, everybody was talking about Urban Meyer. I said, listen, man, that dude is not, that's not it. He's not that dude anymore, man. Like, he can't do it. He's he's questionable whether he's a good dude or not. Questionable at best.
Yeah.
That's not going to win in college football. It's not going to win here. Those ways that he was able to win and do some things, it won't work in this day and age.
No.
And his time in Jacksonville let me know he couldn't coach in college, because those are generally that Jacksonville team at that time. Those are 4-year vet guys and younger on that team. That's a college atmosphere and team that you essentially got fired 5 games into your tenure for.
So, but I would ask Rosebud this as well. Who else would you have gotten? Right? We
hired Matt Rule.
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's say during that process, right? You got Rule. I mean, you weren't. Wisconsin got Fickle before you got Rule. Gary Patterson?
No.
Mark D'Antonio?
No, we got
David Shaw.
We got
and you weren't playing
Austin. And I know Nebraska ain't hiring David Shaw.
I know.
I know. And I know Nebraska
ain't
hired Jay Foreman or David Shaw as a head coach in Nebraska. Ever.
You're also just not poaching anyone. Right.
You could have probably got,
you
could have probably got your boy Willie Fritz or somebody like that. What's the old buddy at Kansas?
Leipold?
Yeah, you could have got him.
There was some friction there with the previous administration.
He would have been all right.
So,
you want to be in Kansas? You want to be with Toto in Kansas and Yellow Brick Road? You want to come up here? He would have came.
But would you have been a Kleiman team? Chris Kleiman? This is where I'm going to start pushing back a little bit, is that I know what fans want is they want the guy that's accomplished come in and just win. Yeah. Are you bringing Jimbo Fisher to Lincoln? Do you really want that? I don't know. Like, be careful what you wish for.
James with him.
Just be careful what you wish for. I just think there have been so many successful programs, Jay, that have picked the right cultural fit for them who's an up-and-comer.
Yeah.
And I know that there's always risk, right? There's risk when you hire this big-name coach that, worked for him in this way at their old program. Nebraska is unique. It's not exactly the same. Can they translate it from one spot to the other? It's also a risk if you hire a coordinator, who's going to be a first-time head coach. But that's why I go back to the basketball example. What did Arizona basketball do after Sean Miller left? They hired an up-and-coming assistant, Tommy Lloyd. What did Michigan do? They hired Dusty May, longtime assistant, who had one mid-major coaching job in one run. They got it right that way. And I'm not saying that's the only way to do it, but you have seen so few programs be able to pluck high-profile coaches, right? And maybe Campbell's the exception to that in some ways, but you cannot argue that Iowa State and Penn State are on the same job level. No. Penn State is a clear step up. And so that's not a lateral move. Coaches aren't making lateral moves.
It's two steps up.
It is. And I think that I worry that either coaches and or their agents perceive Nebraska as a step down or a lateral move. And so I think for someone to view this Nebraska job as a step up, it's either going to have to be someone from the mid-major ranks that wants to take that step into power conference coaching.
Like a Northwestern or something.
Right. Yeah. Or, Mississippi State, maybe, Arizona State,
level,
maybe
Arizona or something.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or you're going to have to get someone closer to the end, right? A Jimbo Fisher, a Brian Kelly, which I'm not saying those are guys I want at Nebraska. I'm just throwing out just some examples.
Are you talking about when we were hiring a coach? We already got a coach.
I know. I'm just saying for fans that want to go back for that example.
Or you
before
gotta,
the rule
or you got to hire guys that want to be here. And
absolutely.
Yes,
that's
prior to
number one.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, prior to Matt Rule, I'd argue none of those coaches wanted to be here. And Bo was like sick here or whatever. He was just mad because people would come up and talk to him. Like, dude, you're the head coach of Nebraska.
What do you expect?
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You serious right now?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and Bo wanted to be here, so give it that. But
at least early.
He did, yeah. Leighton it did, but he wasn't getting the support. So but let's just say Bo wanted to be here. Nice Mike, not really.
Thanks for the golden parachute.
Not really. Scott, not really.
You heard from Scott Frost how much he had to get strong-armed into coming here.
So I think that's a big factor. Guys that actually want to be here, that may view Nebraska as a destination job. And sure, it's not where it used to be, but you could be a part of bringing it back, and you're willing to kind of immerse yourself and be a Nebraskan.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important. Coach Rule said he wants to be here. Other guys really didn't want to be here. Callahan didn't want to be here.
Nope.
Bo wanted to be here at the beginning, but then he was always, thinking about LSU or wherever the heck he was, or before that, or Oklahoma, or wherever the heck.
Getting back to Ohio or NFL, maybe.
For like the first 3 or 4 years when it was great, when they wrote that book, Bo knows football. After that, he's like, all right, I'm sick of this.
Interesting text from
all the coaches didn't want to be here,
which is a problem. Yeah. And you have to have more than money to make him want to be here,
because you're getting that anyways.
Exactly.
That's the problem I have with like coaches in general. You're getting paid. You're highly compensated. Is Matt Rule a state employee?
Well, I mean, it's a public university. Yeah.
So he's a state employee.
Yeah,
so you're the highest, essentially. So every coach that comes here, you're the highest paid state employee.
Yeah.
Bro, like you can't. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like just coaches in general, like you're going to get the money when you come here. The money's already here.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to think about everything else. Can you handle it? Do you want to handle it? And do you want to be here? Like all the other coaches didn't want to be here. They either were telling you, but more importantly, they were showing you that they didn't want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting text from Dwayne. We'll get to this before we go to break. It throws out a name here. I personally feel like Nebraska missed on Kalen DeBoer by a year. Had Nebraska made the switch sooner before he goes to Washington, I think he comes to Nebraska and does very well. But that, I think, illustrates my point. Is Nebraska chasing the name, or is Nebraska chasing a good football coach? Think about Kalen DeBoer's resume.
You ain't know he was going to be
Washington
good yet.
High School, Sioux Falls, Southern Illinois, Eastern Michigan, Fresno State, Indiana, Fresno State. Would Nebraska have been willing to take the mid-major flyer on the guy? I don't think so.
No, they wouldn't, because
which illustrates my point. Maybe they should sometime.
Because all Nebraska worries about, has worried about, is what it looks like on the tweets and in the media. Resume pimp themselves. That's all they're worried about. Look, Nebraska media members go from, you want somebody with Nebraska ties, they end up like, oh no, we can't never hire nobody from Nebraska again. Then we got to fire everybody that's ever, either give them a hard time with Trevor and them, get them up out of here. Then you get new guys in here, then you get mad they do this. Then you want guys with only experience, right? Because, there was times where, we need a coach with Big Ten experience, or you need a coach with head coaching experience. So my whole thing, I would ask, like when the Steelers hired Mike Tomlin, he had never been a head coach before. Bill Cowher has never been a head coach before. How are you going to get experience? You got to start hiring good people. You need to look at the person first, because the coaching, when you're at that point, when you're thinking about hiring a coach, in Nebraska's case, like in the prior or whatever, or previous, you already know he can coach. Now, sure, some are obviously more seasoned than others, but ultimately, you should be trying to believe in your coaches and who you're hiring. Not sit up there and say, okay, well, you got to coach in the Big Ten now. And I know it's different coaching the Big Ten and other, but really?
But unless you're bringing in your version of John Cook, right, to be your coach in waiting for a year, that's very hard to make happen. It just doesn't work like that.
If you need to learn how to coach if you have to have Big Ten coaching experience, how did that dude? It's Gary Patterson or whatever that came from like Utah State, went to Wisconsin and did work.
Gary Peterson.
Yeah.
Gary Anderson.
And did it work and then left. He had no Big Ten experience. He came all the way from Utah.
He was at Utah State to Oregon State to Wisconsin. I think
went back to Utah
State. I think. Yeah.
That's not Big Ten experience.
No.
Came in, put in work.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's with Nebraska kind of got in their own way, but hopefully they got it fixed right now.
Agreed. All right, a couple more texts to wrap up hour 2. We'll be back after this.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Husker fans, the 2026 Nebraska football season is quickly approaching, and we need you in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. Single game tickets for all 7 home games start at just $45 and are now available in both end zone and sideline seat locations. These tickets are only available while supplies last, so get yours today before they're gone. To purchase your Husker football single game tickets or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Are you looking for a place to host company get-togethers, team meetings, or group events? Back 9 Golf in South Lincoln is the perfect place to host your gathering, with private bays available to meet with clients while you swing the sticks and improve your game. Back 9 Golf offers traditional golf opportunities while also providing fun games and activities available for non-traditional golfers on their top-of-the-line full-swing simulators. Learn about their corporate memberships today and gather your favorite groups together at Back 9 Golf in South Lincoln, just off 14th and Pine Lake Road.
Power Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white truck, you know the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built upon hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with room for advancement.
Amigos value meals are getting an upgrade with more of the bold, fresh flavors you love. Now we have 9 options for only $5, $6, or $7. With fries and a small drink, these are full meals for a small price. There's something for everyone with the new Chicken Ranchero Burrito or Quesadilla Snackers. Even Amigos favorites like the soft meat burrito or crisp pinto are now in value meals. With a deal this good, we'll be seeing you all the time at Amigos. There's a jalapeno heat wave rolling through Amigos, and honestly, we're here for it. The new crisp jalapeno popper burrito is stuffed with bold jalapeno cream cheese filling for a smooth, spicy heat in every crispy bite. And the new jalapeno popper Frenchies are a perfect fiery twist on the classic fave. This summer, the heat index is officially set by Amigos, and it's a jalapeno heat wave. Try the newest bold, fresh flavors at Amigos.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier, furry friends.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Building a new home can be a challenge, a lot of big choices. With our Remington homes, we have designed 15 different floor plans that appeal to a wide range of people.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier.
People really enjoy being able to go to our website, which is remingtonlincoln.com, pick a plan, pick a price point, go through and build it yourself. You have a lot of options, whether you want granite, painted trim, wood floors, more stone, all options with our Remington homes. People do not want to be married to their house payment. You're able to get what you really want in a home for a great price with very limited stress. And that's what Remington homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket.
That's right. Welcome back in as we wrap up hour 2 of Old School. Full hour 3 coming your way here on the other side. Let's go ahead and get back to our Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line. D-Man says he wonders if Campbell is a struck out on Matt Rule type of hire for Penn State. We talked about this at the time, Jay. I think it depends on who you believe, because according to Pat Kraft, he reached out to Matt Campbell early in the process, but it was the wrong agent, had the wrong number. And that's the exact look you gave back then as well.
Hey, what? Hey, the other agent said, who this? Yeah, he's my client. Yeah, let me get him. Oh, man, I don't know. I got his number, man.
Sorry, I lost the sticky note.
Yeah. Come on, player.
Big Bird, I think Urban Meyer at Jacksonville was a glimpse of him operating where players are getting paid, a.k.a. NIL, and I'm not sure it would have worked.
No, it would not have worked.
Like Urban wasn't paying guys at Ohio State, though.
Yeah, but he had full control. He has no control now. And you actually have to want to, I wouldn't say, you have to beg for players now in some way, form, or fashion. The money and then get, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to really compete for them.
Mm-hmm. My dad texts in, a good show, guys. I think part of the issue is schools that hire guys from lower levels only do so because they're desperate. Nebraska and administration don't think it's in a desperate spot. They convince themselves they're so close, so they also convince themselves a risky hire is not worth the downside. Were Indiana even moderately successful, they wouldn't have gone after Signetti. Same for K-State and Bill Snyder, et cetera, et cetera. Nebraska's trying to aim small and miss small, but maybe what they needed to do in the past is take a chance.
Yeah, maybe. But right now we're at. I mean, so that's all kind of water under the bridge. But I mean, you know.
But Matt Rule's not going to be the last coach in Nebraska football history.
No. We can be happy with where we're at, but then also learn from some of our mistakes that allowed us to be happy for hopefully, where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just being, good at your job or your business or whatever, understanding that, make sure, number one, the two best attributes that they have. One, that they're good people, and they're going to treat people good. Number two, that they want to be here. And then obviously you got to have the other checklist. But if you hire, I don't necessarily wouldn't say like anybody that they've hired in the previous is a bad person, but that is such a big deal right now. And then the worst thing is like if you have a guy that doesn't want to be at Nebraska, be in the state of Nebraska, or be in the city of Lincoln, or always saying I need to be in LSU and all this other stuff what Bo was saying and all that. Bro, you can't sell Nebraska if you think about somewhere else. You can't. You know what I'm saying? So
Can't serve two masters, right?
So yeah, so we're good where we're at, and but you got to make sure that you don't, say Matt Rule coaches and then he ends up retiring. So that's what 6-7 years from now. I mean, he's young to be doing that, but or whatever,
I can see Matt Rule being like a big picture guy in college football too. Loves coaching, but I can see him doing some big picture
he
stuff.
Retires or something, right?
Chris Peterson,
right? You can't sit there and go back and revert back to decisions or decision making processes that messed up where you're at before. And that's not just with the coaches, but how you operate, how you have to have a winner's mindset. Everybody's got to be pulling in the same direction and thinking about winning, wanting to win, holding everybody to the standard of being championship mentality and championship standards of doing business.
Completely fair. With that, hour 3 of Old School comes your way right after this.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Amigos value meals are getting an upgrade with more of the bold, fresh flavors you love. Now we have 9 options for only $5, $6, or $7. With fries and a small drink, these are full meals for a small price. There's something for everyone with the new Chicken Ranchero Burrito or Quesadilla Snackers. Even Amigos favorites like the soft meat burrito or crisp pinto are now in value meals. With a deal this good, we'll be seeing you all the time at Amigos. There's a jalapeno heat wave rolling through Amigos, and honestly, we're here for it. The new crisp jalapeno popper burrito is stuffed with bold jalapeno cream cheese filling for a smooth, spicy heat in every crispy bite. And the new jalapeno popper Frenchies are a perfect fiery twist on the classic fave. This summer, the heat index is officially set by Amigos, and it's a jalapeno heat wave. Try the newest bold, fresh flavors at Amigos.
Hi, Kendall Warnock here, owner of A1 Automotive. If you own a BMW, Audi, Volkswagen, or Mini, specialized service matters. Our team uses advanced diagnostic equipment, OE equipment, including factory-level software, to accurately diagnose and repair your vehicle. Dealer-level capabilities with hometown service. A1 Automotive, 1117 L Street. You can call us 402-477-4660.
You started your business to build something special. Now it's time to grow and protect it. At Pinnacle Bank, our treasury management services help you do just that. Through smarter payment technology, account administration, and fraud protection. So no matter the size of your business, you can get the most out of your financial operations. Request your free consultation at pinbank.com/consult. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy, so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Right now, lease a 2026 Ford F-150 for $195 per month for 36 months. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1009974. 195 per month lease for 36 months with approved credit. 7,500 miles free or 10,000 due at signing. No security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 8/31/26.
Guys, if you're dealing with low back pain or trouble urinating, don't just live with it. These could be signs of treatable conditions. At Advanced Medical Imaging, their interventional radiologists specialize in minimally invasive procedures designed to relieve symptoms and improve your quality of life without major surgery. June is Men's Health Month. Take the step. Call Advanced Medical Imaging today to schedule a consult and find out what AMI can do for you.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete in Lincoln and Palmyra. Ready Mixed offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply with Ready Mixed Concrete today to be eligible for a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with Ready Mixed Concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Hey everyone, it's Brie Marie. Join me and James Rowland every Sunday night at 7 p.m. from April through August for the finish line. We'll do laps around the headlines in dirt track racing, let the rubber meet the road for NASCAR news, and talk with special guests, including your favorite local drivers and racing personalities. That's the finish line, Sunday at 7 p.m. all summer long on 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln, this is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Troy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score. Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black shirts answer the call one more time.
And Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln, your tire store next door with 4 Lincoln locations. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, hour 3 on this beautiful, hot, muggy Friday. We are live in effect, 1040 O Street. We're Old School, brought to you by Graham Tires, serving the whole Midwest for over 60 years. 4 locations located here in Lincoln. GrahamTireOfLincoln.com. Go in there and tell them Austin and Jay hooked you up. They will definitely take good care of you. Good people, good service. Also, they will take care of any of your car and light truck needs as well. Good 2 hours, like the interaction on the text line, so we appreciate that. And as we do mostly is like we're coming down the pipe here with Nebraska football. Right around the corner, about 2.5 weeks from now, we got Big Ten Media Days coming very soon. So, obviously we'll be, wall-to-wall coverage before Nebraska goes on stage, and obviously after. The next thing you know, they'll be tipping it off to get this 2026 season rolling. But it is Friday. Farley left a little nugget for us over here, right?
Thanks, Jerome.
Yeah, and it's an article over here, and it's real easy. It says Luke Fickell, Dave Aranda, Mike Loxley, Bill Belichick, Mike Norvell, and Beamer from South Carolina are all on the hot seat, right? On the very, very hot seat. And so it's pretty interesting to see, like, some guys that are on the hot seat based on the financial status of the university. Some guys on a hot seat because of the new AD they hired. Some guys on a hot seat for the lack of support NIL-wise, which has affected his ability to continue to grow a program like Maryland and Mike Loxley, because he's taken that program from the depths of hell and turned down some bigger opportunities. Been pretty consistent, 6 wins, 7 wins, 8 wins. A little down last year. Had opportunities. Obviously, we saw him up close and personal. And then you have Shane Beamer, who I think he would have had 2 or 3 more years of job security if he was able to win that game when he's up 30 points against Texas A&M.
Yeah.
So, and that's a little bit of financial. It's a little bit of overzealous expectations of South Carolina. Because
Well, when you have a guy that's projected to be the number 1 pick in the draft or in that conversation and Sellers, and then he doesn't live up to that, and you have the record you do, it's understandable.
Sellers, and he was supposed to be a first-round pick this year. He came back. You got more money. Got more money for your staff, and then also you have Dylan Stewart, who was supposed to be the next coming of Javon Kirsten. He had a down year last year because people saw him his freshman year, thought he was going to need to go to the pros. They actually studied tape, and he wasn't very productive. So you have the 3 figureheads of that program that have to have a good years, and that's also on the back of having a lot of guys drafted off the team he had last year, and we got one of his players in the portal. So, in the other ones that have warm seats, Lincoln Riley, I think that's probably not as hot as people think it is, just because of his contract, and you don't know what he makes, and also out at USC, I think it's a little bit different. Scott Satterfield from Cincinnati,
interesting. Okay.
Is probably the most interesting. Obviously, with Brandon Sorsby, they have an influx of money. He had a decent year 2 years ago. Looked like they were on the cusp of really, I won't say running the table, but really making noise in the Big 12 after we beat them, and sputtered down at the end. It's always interesting when you have Derek Mason at I think is it Middle Tennessee? Middle Tennessee, Satterfield at Cincinnati. At those type of level of schools, how do they get on these super hot seats when you talk about who you're going to hire? You're either hiring a retread generally, or somebody that's probably your 9th, 10th option, but then you're always looking for your first or second option.
Let me then potentially direct you to something you said there in hour 2 of the show. How many mid-major jobs become jobs that power programs say, we have connections here, be head coach here, here's your audition? We won't just monitor your wins and losses. We'll monitor your process
and your development
as a coach, as a person with boosters and whatnot. We will not hold your success or lack thereof against you. Winning obviously is preferred.
Yeah.
But I also don't know, like we've talked about in the conversations with, turning FCS into, draft and stash essentially, or turning, group
Division
5,
two. You could do
D2,
that's what we
whatever.
talked about when we had Coach Ryan Held on here.
Yeah. I don't know how many of those programs would be on board with that, how much pushback there would be, but I think it'd be at least worth asking about, because if these programs, these athletic directors don't want to go through the search process, which can get expensive, if they need football to continue operating, and you have this high profile program saying, hey, we have a guy for you, but just know when our guy leaves, we're planning to take him right back. Would these mid-majors, these group of 5 conferences be okay with being the way station, be okay with being the pit stop, because it would save them money in the search, because you'd get a good coach, you could be respectful, you'd have connections to this university. I don't know, but I wonder if some of those, backroom connections with agents and ADs might come to fruition in that way.
It could, but the only problem is if you do have success there as a coach, then you start to look other ways. So I mean, I think you could,
It's a risk.
and it's a risk, but maybe it might be a risk worth taking, because I think the days of a guy going and coaching at Northern Illinois for a long period of time, or Marshall for a long period of time, and building that program up and kind of going through the relationship with the athletic department, the boosters. So he's compensated at a point to where he's comfortable and obviously happy, where he's kind of getting maybe some benefits for his staff and everything like that, and taking a little bit less money to continue on with the success until he does, become a viable option for a big Power 4 job. I think those days are over, because it becomes so hard now to do it because of the transfer portal and the lack of money and resources.
Well, let me ask you this then. Is that more of a statement on those schools, or the statement of how much turnover there is at the upper levels, that those guys don't have a chance to stick around, establish, et cetera?
Well, some of those schools are incapable of having the same type of money as like Nebraska.
Well, yeah.
So, and then it's hard for you, if you do have a good staff, it's hard for you to keep them, because they can go and be a defensive coordinator can go and get paid more to be a linebacker coach or something at Ohio State or something. So it's hard to keep your staff. And then more importantly, all the big dog schools, or the bigger schools, big Power 4 schools, are coming down and plucking guys, all your best players off your roster. Yeah. It takes places like Northern Illinois or places like that.
Boise, do you consider them? Or are they different?
They're different. They're They're power force. They're established group of five. They're a well-respected program.
But they're not like the Gonzaga level, right? College
No.
football doesn't really have that Gonzaga right
No.
now. It used to be Boise, the BCS era potentially, but they weren't playing for championships. Even Gonzaga's made it to the title game.
No, they're not, but they're always viable. They're respected.
Yeah.
And teams aren't really going there and plucking their roster. Whereas like Northern Illinois, remember with the coach that they had, was it Hammock they had?
Thomas Hammock, yeah.
And he went and he was like, now he's like assistant running back coach
with
like,
the Seahawks.
Yeah. Like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, you're out here like drawing up plays, and so, those days are over. And so that's what makes it a little bit harder in that situation. And so, it's always amazing how those guys get on the hot seat, because not only, is that you get on the hot seat there as you get closer to the end of your contract, the buyout's a little bit lower. So there's like kind of wash your hands of it, or you think you have somebody in your back pocket, which most likely isn't the truth, because you're either getting a coordinator that's coming down from Power 4 or a coordinator that's up and coming from a lateral move, which would be another school at your level. So it's always really interesting when you read that. You kind of know the known factors. For Baylor, obviously, not enough success. Wisconsin, not enough success, even though you haven't had the support. You have the support now, but more importantly, you got a new AD. Could be looking at a reason to fire you. That's a hard situation to be in for Luke Fickell.
Aranda and Fickell are both fascinating to me because I think both guys are probably best served as coordinators. Fickell maybe more so. Aranda's just been fine as a head coach.
He's a really good D
I think he can really thrive as a coordinator, and maybe Fickell's one of those guys that just bumped his head on the ceiling, right? Maybe he is one of those MAC lifers, except that he'll get another chance. If he's winning 9-10 games a year to MAC program, he'll get a look from another power conference school. Well, look what he learned from his first stint, at Wisconsin. Oh, it was a mess up there. It'll be different for us, which might be true. It also might not be true.
If he's able to win 6-7 games, let's pull up their schedule. If he's able to win 6-7 games, he probably keeps his job.
Yeah, and I mean Notre Dame's an L, even though that game's in Lambeau. Western Illinois, Eastern Michigan,
W.
At Penn State.
L. Okay, so you're 2-2.
Home against Michigan State.
Let's say win, just because you're at home.
Bye week on the road at UCLA.
That's a win at the bye week, and you win at UCLA.
Okay. Home against USC.
Probably an L, right?
On the road at Iowa on Halloween.
L.
Host Rutgers.
W.
Travel to Maryland.
Poof. That's it right there. That's the game. What's the date?
November 14th.
Okay, so let's add up the wins. 2, 3, 4. I gave you 5.
You're at 5-4 right now.
And then you got Maryland.
At Maryland. November, Maryland.
W.
Bowl eligibility. At Purdue.
W.
Minnesota at home in Camp Randall Black Friday. You're looking 7-5, 8-4.
Yeah. You can't fire him.
Don't tell Sean Eichhorst what he can or can't do.
You can't fire him at that. Yeah, that's true. You fired Bo. But yeah, I mean, that's
a normal AD would not fire him.
No. But yeah, that's where he's at. And yeah, for him, he's probably excited. Thinks, I don't know what the type of team they got, but we'll see what they look like at Big Ten Media Day.
Okay, so let's fast forward this to 2027. If you're taking a big picture approach at this, 2027, Wisconsin will open in Dublin against Pitt.
That's going to be a white knuckle game. It's going to be a tough game.
Okay, they have a bye week. They're in week 1, technically. They'll play FCS Southern Illinois.
Win.
And Colorado State.
Win.
We don't have the actual schedule, but we do have the opponents. On the road, Wisconsin will travel to Michigan State.
L.
Illinois.
They'll win one of those games.
Minnesota.
L.
USC.
L.
At home, Wisconsin gets Iowa.
L.
Northwestern.
Win.
Penn State.
At that point, L.
UCLA.
I always say they'll beat a UCLA.
Nebraska.
L. How many? He might get his whole contract.
Again, 6-6, 7-5.
He might get his whole contract. Him and I, of course, would be buddies after that. Yeah, he's just in a tough spot, man. It's tough for him.
then he gets into what we talked about at Haymarket the other day. Do you say this isn't good enough and move on, or do you give the guy time? The recent attitude in the last 20 years has been,
No time.
hey, we're not there. You're done. We'll see ya. If you maintain that record, are you willing to give the guy a chance to try and break through? And then you give him 5 years of 500, and then you say I don't know. That's what you got, Sean Eichhorst.
Yeah, we shall see. You got your boy Lane on the text line. He said he's mad at me. He said, man, Rule hadn't been good enough.
Rosebud says, Rule needs to bare minimum make the playoffs this year. If not, then what? Do we settle for mediocrity? So I think both guys are in a similar wavelength.
There's a lot of pressure.
Always, though.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, they got a chance. I mean, look, that winning feeling, if you learn how to win, the talent on the team, all of a sudden becomes, one of Nebraska's best talented teams. Just that quick.
If you're a head coach, how do you treat pressure as a privilege?
I mean, you only really feel like what I call true pressure if you're not prepared. So if I'm prepared, my players are prepared, I've done, work my plan in the off season, we're ready to go. You know what I mean? We've kind of, I've hit all my check marks. There is no pressure. Now there's excitement and there's pressure to perform because internally I'm a competitor. And I want my team to play well. I want everybody to be successful. So that means we're all successful. But the pressure that you're thinking of, like I'm not going to sit over there and be worrying about my job or how many wins I need in 2026. I'm just going to focus on right now. And the more that you can do that, outside noise doesn't matter.
Well, it can't matter as well. And that's where I think you nailed the difference there between pressure and normal nerves, right? I mean, you've said everyone gets butterflies right before the game. It's just normal. But that's a completely different feeling than, oh, crap, what are we going to do? We have to go out of the tunnel in 17 minutes and we're not confident in our game plan.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure, sure. And I guess we can pull up Nebraska's schedule here since we're on it. As you go through the season, expectations are going to change, right? And the better that you do, the expectations are going to become more, a lot higher and maybe get out of control. But, the first thing you got to worry about Ohio. That's going to be a tough opponent. I mean, if you watch them against UNLV last year, they beat UNLV pretty handily. They did a really good job against Calandria. So they have some holdover, but, the head coach obviously got dismissed. But they've always been a tough program. Obviously, Frank Solich's DNA is still in that program. Then you got Bowling Green, I think, is an up-and-coming program, with Eddie George. That'll be tough. North Dakota's going to be North Dakota. They're going to be tough for a little while, a little bit undersized, but, look, 6'15" on BTN, you got to represent. And then, really, you could get to 5-0 before you get to defend the national champions to come in here on October 10th. And then after if you shock the world, then you get on the plane and you go out to Oregon. And you got to give them everything, all that they can get. And then you got right into the meat of this schedule here. So the last, after the bye week of Oregon, you got Washington, Illinois, Rutgers. That's the pivot. That's the pivotal part of the season. Because even if you're 5-2 at that point, right? So that means you won your first 5 games and you lost to Indiana and you lost to Oregon. You have 3 winnable games. One that's most likely going to be at night on Halloween night at home against Washington with history. And then you go on a short week to Illinois, where you feel very comfortable. And then you go on the road again against Rutgers. The whole narrative changes if you go 2-1 or 3-0. It changes. And if you go 1-2, sure, you're bowl eligible, right? But you're 6-4. Everybody's saying, oh, here we go again, because you play Ohio State and then at Iowa.
Yeah.
That's why that's the most important part, assuming that the business is handled in the first 5 weeks.
Yeah, and I think the bye week comes at a decent time for Nebraska as well. I mean, you go out on the West Coast after 2 pretty darn tough games, Indiana and Oregon back-to-back. You have the bye week heading into that stretch of Washington, Illinois, and Rutgers. And that's where, okay, you got to go 2-1 in that stretch, almost regardless of what it looks like. You got to get at least 2 of them.
Yeah.
You can talk yourself into all 3 of them. And whether you're 2-1 or you're 3-0, hopefully you're feeling all right, about your chances. And I think this is a game too, that Ohio State game, I would want Nebraska to circle on the calendar. They're one home game in November, a team that's been bad in November. under Matt Rule so far. Well, what's the official record? I think it's 2-10 in November through the first 3 years, and the best month-long record is 1-3. I am putting so many eggs into that basket. No matter how Indiana goes, no matter how Oregon goes, no matter how Washington goes. Again, it's just another game, right?
An upset?
I'm not calling the upset. I'm saying everything in the season has to build to those last 2 weeks. You get a chance with your one home game to help derail Ohio. I mean, it'll still be a playoff team, I bet, but derail Ohio State season. It's your one chance to put on a show in the month of November in front of fans and prove that you're turning a corner. Take that game personally, and then I'm going to show you sort of way. And then you get a chance to go on the road 6 days later, one fewer day off to think about it, to just go play grown man football against your rival and end their season on the wrong note, the regular season at least. That 2-game stretch, if approached right, could be huge.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know that 2-game stretch only can be approached right if you handle your business in those 3 games. Because in those 3 games, you have 2 in November in not ideal situations. You play on a short week, you come home, and I call it another short week, even though you play Saturday out in Piscataway against Rutgers. It's another short week because you're playing on a Friday. And,
it's a long trip,
right? It's a long trip. But if you able to get those 2 W's, it changes the dynamic around that Ohio State game. It's a national game, most likely, that plays in Nebraska's favor, right? And then you get to go to Iowa, and it's 11 o'clock day after Thanksgiving. In Iowa, it will never most likely be an explosive juggernaut. So you're going to be in the game. You were in the game until halftime last year. So whatever the switch that, turned off at halftime, if you have remedied that, that means you've won at Illinois and Rutgers. That means it's your mindset has changed. And once your mindset changes, you're able to maybe exceed expectations, and there'd be nothing better to go on the road to beat Iowa at Iowa, considering what happened last time we were there. So, yeah, I mean, it's the schedule is something that, we could talk about every single day. We could talk about an opponent, Michigan State, at Michigan State. Why is that game so important, and what to expect from Fitzgerald and company, considering you don't know exactly what they have and what possibly could you face in that week 4 with a well-respected, established coach, more resources, probably better athletes, and a hunger for the game like he hasn't had before.
Yeah.
And he wants to validate his $100-and-something million contract with a victory against Nebraska that's had some off-season hype. So we'll take a quick break, come back. We'll look at that a little bit more. We'll answer your text. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, we'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return-to-work exchange policy, so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Right now, lease a 2026 Ford F-150 for $195 per month for 36 months. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1009974. $195 per month lease for 36 months with approved credit. 7,500 miles per year. 10,000 due at signing. No security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 8/31/26.
Here's your updated 93.7 The Ticket forecast, sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical. Slight chance of thunderstorms this afternoon, otherwise cloudy skies expected. High temperatures reach up to 86. Easterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly clear skies. Tonight, slight chance of thunderstorms, lows dip down to about 66. That's your updated forecast on Lincoln's home for the Kansas City Royals. 93.7 The Ticket. I'm meteorologist Kara Foster. Right now, it's 80 degrees.
Lights out? Let LES know where to go. With Powerline, your phone number is matched to your service address, so outages can be restored faster. Keep your information up to date at les.com/Powerline.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete in Lincoln and Palmyra. Ready Mixed offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply with Ready Mixed Concrete today to be eligible for a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with Ready Mixed Concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Guys, if you're dealing with low back pain or trouble urinating, don't just live with it. These could be signs of treatable conditions. At Advanced Medical Imaging, their interventional radiologists specialize in minimally invasive procedures designed to relieve symptoms and improve your quality of life without major surgery. June is Men's Health Month. Take the step. Call Advanced Medical Imaging today to schedule a consult and find out what AMI can do for you.
Building a new home can be a challenge, a lot of big choices. With our Remington homes, we have designed 15 different floor plans that appeal to a wide range of people.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier.
People really enjoy being able to go to our website, which is remingtonlincoln.com, pick a plan, pick a price point, go through and build it yourself. You have a lot of options, whether you want granite, painted trim, wood floors, more stone, all options with our Remington homes. People do not want to be married to their house payment. You're able to get what you really want in a home for a great price with very limited stress. And that's what Remington homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC in Louisville. Koppel is proud to be the highest rated GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln areas based on Google reviews. Right now, get 0% financing for 60 months on new Silverado and Sierra 1500 models. But hurry, the 0% financing offer won't last long. Visit us in Louisville or check us out online at koppelcars.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
When Nebraska businesses win, we all win. And the Nebraska Chamber is helping make that happen. Tackling the tough stuff like job creation, affordable and accessible childcare, and building a stronger workforce. We're stepping up so local businesses can step forward. If you want to see Nebraska keep growing, keep competing, and keep winning, get connected with the Nebraska Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Learn more at nechamber.com.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, we're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, second segment, third hour. Talked a little schedule, hot seat. I think a lot of people are on the hot seat today if you're outside and get back in your car. Austin, I want to pivot real quick to the NFL and talk about the hot seat and talk about the NFL suspended Arizona Cardinals exec for gambling violation. So essentially what he was doing, or one of the things he did, he provided insider information on draft picks before it was announced.
Ooh, can't be doing that.
Yeah, indefinitely, though. That means you gone. Yeah, so I wanted to ask you that. I mean, I wanted to obviously talk a little bit about that, but more importantly, do you think, I mean, gambling is a big problem in sports. And I mean, just youth, people are gambling, online or on their phone at very young ages. Do you ever think those type of acts would happen in college? Meaning, would a player or a coach tell a friend, I know Jay Form is listed as probable, but he's actually not playing? Or be on the lookout for Austin. We're going to throw it to him 10 to 12 times this game.
Oh, of course it will. If it hasn't already. Now, the injury report and the game plan questions are two completely different
Sure.
ones, because I think
But-
we've seen I think it was the Wake Forest thing where the armband got left on the field.
Yeah.
It was whether it was Wake Forest or their opponent. I think it was Wake Forest took the armband and started using it. That's one thing. If you're messing with, player props or whatever, over-unders, yeah, that's also a problem as well. That really hurts the integrity of the games. You say, hey, this is our game plan.
Yeah.
But again, if the head coach doesn't know that that's what the line is, and they just happen to throw it more because of game script, or run it more because of game script, and it hits or misses, I can't really blame the head coach for that. And okay, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Still, again, would not be passing along that information. That's insider trading to some degree. But the injury report one, that to me is still wrong, again, to pass along information if you're betting on it or the game or whatnot. I just think it's different because that's where there's a lot of gamesmanship, right? You just put someone in the questionable category and you're covered, right? We don't have, as far as I know, strict parameters for what's probable, questionable, doubtful in terms of that sliding kind of scale for how a guy feels. Oh, he's a game time decision. Well, okay, now if you let someone like your buddy know that we're listing him as questionable, but we're going to play him, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Right? You should only be able to bet on and use information that's available to the public. Right? But there is some gamesmanship from the coach's standpoint, right? And so there's different perspectives to approach it from. But if the information's not public, don't share it to someone who's going to be betting on it.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, there's sharks everywhere, man, and they're very quick-witted and very experienced in how to approach players, or in this case, approach an executive about the possibility of, like, I'm assuming, making some money off of, throwing him a bone, him or her a bone. So I see it coming down the college ranks and approaching, players. You can contact them through social media, all this type of stuff. And I hate it because, the integrity of the game could be compromised. And obviously everybody wants to win when you're trying to do prop bets and all that other stuff. And so me and you always talk about, do fans go to the game based on their bets or fantasy football, or do they go to the game for the love of the game and for that university or team or professional team? And I think it's probably 50-50. And if anything, it weighs more to gamblers and stuff like that.
Ooh, I might push back. I think there's still more people that don't gamble than do, but it's a very vocal, very loud, very
gamblers.
Yes, very disrespectful minority.
In Nebraska, I mean, it's a lot of older fans. I guess I'm saying more new age fans.
Sure.
New age, more new age fans or younger fans are more there for their to break bread for their money.
Good, yeah.
Sure. Now, obviously, you got the lifers and stuff. They're going to go to Nebraska no matter if it's 92 degrees or 2 degrees outside, and they love the university, love the football team, and so I don't know. I think gambling is something that it's one of those things everybody knows about at the NCAA. Universities are trying to, have different seminars and stuff like that, but the NCAA, I guess made a statement about Sorsby, but it wasn't as impactful, as I thought that would stop people from doing it. So I wonder what's going to have to happen to get some serious and clear-cut rules when it comes to gambling that's going to kind of stop it coming from both sides. Players getting involved and people getting involved with players. Because it has to, because when you have, executives who are supposed to, I think a lot of times the executives, at least from my experience in the NFL, are held to a higher standard, than the players, because you're an executive. You're the one that are always laying down the law and fining people and all that. And so for Ryan Gold to be indefinitely suspended, he's now looking at looking at life a lot different from his perspective, but more realistically, the long-term effects of this suspension for you in the good old boys club, you could be on the outside looking in.
You probably will be, and you probably should be. It's interesting that the guy that broke this, Rob Maadi, with the AP, noted that this guy, Ryan Gold, was in his 13th year with the Cardinals, promoted to his current position in June of 25, doing a lot on the scouting side of things. So he had been working his way up through the ranks, right? He was one of those guys that I'm sure to some degree envisioned himself as a lifer in that game, maybe in different roles, but liked football, loved football, wanted to be around it. There's only so much the league can do. I get that it's an indefinite suspension. He has the right to appeal again. Mahdi throws that out there. But as soon as it's proven that he did this, pass this information along, you have to change that wording from indefinitely suspended to like expelled or excommunicated, lifetime ban, whatever it is, from working for an NFL organization again, because the league, like I said, can only do so much. It can go through it, have its rules, it can have its policies, you can have the right to the fair trial and whatnot. But then as soon as it's proven, all the league can do is lay down the law, throw the book, and that's that. At some point, it's a personal choice to pass that information along. Just because someone approaches you, even if they're, a friend, a longtime friend, a family member, hey, I'm in a tough spot. Can you help me out with this? Right? Just one time.
Yeah.
Let's just do it this season. Then I'm out of the game. I just got to get back on my feet, whatever it is. Or, hey, it'd be fun. I need a fun vacation. Kids want to go to Disney World. You can say no. Yeah. It's going to hurt in the moment. Probably it's going to be hard. They might come back and ask again. You can just say no. You can save your career and do the right thing for the integrity of the league, protect the shield. You're choosing not to.
Yeah, it's always wondering what the thought process is. I mean, obviously gambling when I was playing was not a big deal, and it was more or less like in your free time and you were playing, different games, Boo-Ray and all that stuff on the plane and dice and all that, so this is a totally different level, more sophisticated, obviously. And obviously the ability to find out what you're doing is very sophisticated as well. When they're able to get your electronic records, obviously through Wi-Fi or whatever they're able to do, whether it's a NFL phone or something that pull your records, you generally never get away with it. So it's always interesting to see what the NFL will do, how they do it, and how it affects the lower levels. Because if it's happening at the highest level, you bet your bottom dollar it's happening at the second and third level as well, which would obviously bring in college football. So thought that was an interesting point. To another thing, Austin, since we got about 5 minutes here, so I think we're probably going to talk about it next 5 minutes, and obviously right before we put a bow on this week. The British Open is being played over in England, Southport, England, one of the hardest courses on the face of this earth, according to Tiger Woods, the hardest he's ever played. The YouTuber and / pro golfer, two-time major winner, Bryson DeChambeau, had a little dust up with Nick Faldo about his approach to the game. Nick Faldo, if you don't know who he is famous for playing 6-hour round with Greg Norman and not saying a word to him because he was so hyper-focused trying to win. I forget what it was, either the Masters or the British Open. So he was very meticulous and very smart on how he played the golf course, and that's why he was able to win 6 majors. And he's a Hall of Fame golf announcer that just recently retired. Still very active in the media business and stuff like that. So he was interviewed about Bryson DeChambeau, and he just said he has no game plan or no idea, how to play in majors because he just essentially golfs, bombs it, and when he's on, he's doing well. Well, Bryson DeChambeau had a really good round the first round. They always say, be gracious and humble with success. Bryson DeChambeau is giving us some jabs, talking about his game plan. Well, today he's tied for the lead. Today, at one point in time, he's tied for the lead. But he must have forgot he's on worldwide TV, and he not only improved his lie, he might as well just have thrown the ball on up there on the green. That's the next thing he could have done. And he was assessed a 2-stroke penalty, and there's video of him like a petulant child, mad about it, and then saying I might not play tomorrow or I just won't play. So that's a big deal. That's going to be all over Golf Channel and all the way through until 3:00 in the morning when they tee off tomorrow. Now, I will tell you this. In my case, don't play golf as much anymore. But if I'm paying, I'm improving my life.
I'm paying, I'm playing.
I'm teeing that bad boy up, and I saw the video. That's exactly what I would be doing. Hey, listen here. We over here in the tumbleweeds. I'm pulling them out.
No. You're over here in the tumbleweeds. We are not here.
Yeah.
You.
Well, hey, listen. They were like, man, Jay over there in the bushes. Yeah, I'm in one dry spot here, though. I'm in one dry spot in here, though. And I'm a stomp it down. I'll make sure I got me a flat lie. And obviously, he hits the ball 10 times better than I ever could. That's why it's important. But I think with the British Open is great. For me, I would tell you about the British Open. It generally is a little bit later because it's always in training camp.
Mhm.
It always was in training camp for me.
Mhm.
But I liked it. I liked the British Open because when we, maybe had a day off, it's on early in the morning. You can just chill and kind of rest and watch some golf. But obviously, Bryson DeChambeau is not too happy. He's only 3 shots back. But ultimately, I wonder
Could have been 1 shot back.
Could have been 1 shot back. But I wonder if he's going to show up tomorrow. But then what's his mindset going to be?
If you have to show up, right? It'd be so Bryson DeChambeau to just not show up.
Where's the flight tracker?
Right?
I can see him doing both. I think he'll show up.
Hey, we need flight tracker for John Rahm's club too.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. John Rahm. Now, I have done that before. Throwing a club? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I spiked
Sometimes
that.
you get
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell you, you want to hear the most epic story of club throwing?
Obviously.
So, when I was in Houston, playing with the Texans, so in the offseason, Aaron Glenn, the head coach of the New York Jets, he went to Texas A&M, and Aaron Glenn was paid. So he lived I lived in like a townhouse, and where he lived, man, it was I think he probably helped build the development. You go through 2 security things, and then there's a golf course you got to check in. I mean, it's he's up there. I think that's where Kendrick Perkins lived. It's nice, right?
It's more security than his Jets defense provided last year. Sorry, Aaron Glenn, but
and he's a little DB, good golfer. He dresses all nice and stuff like that. And I was up there, that's when you had baggy shorts and stuff, and I was wearing a visor with fro, and he was, whatever. And so he was like, "Hey man, I'm bringing you play with this group, right?" And Aaron was a little bit older than me, obviously, and coming from the Houston area, knew a lot of guys, and knew a lot of the Houston Oilers guys that are still around and stuff. So it was a mix of former NBA players, MLB players, NFL players, current and new. It was a big group. We had I think the golf course is called Sweetwater. It's 36 holes. It's a big deal. So you get to meet some guys, fellowship. It's great. He called it the Black Golfers Association.
The BGA.
Yeah. So we're in
it.
there, and I'm playing with this dude named Bubba McDowell. Yeah, he's a safety. He's from Miami, University of Miami. He was a safety. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Played for Houston Oilers. We're playing, and it's hot as haze out there. And there's money on the line, but not that much, right?
Mm-hmm.
So many good golfers, nobody's going to really lose that much. Man, we're on this hole, and it's probably 80 yards to the green over the water,
Oh, boy.
And I'll never forget, because me, Jabbar Gaffney, Andre, and Bubba, and I'm riding with him. And he hit the ball in the water. Got it, give me another one. Hit another one in the water. And then I was like, man, just take an X, what's the point?
Keep moving.
You out of the game, out of the hole. Hit another one in the water. Homeboy got so mad. And he was he's messing with his bag. I was like, oh, he's getting another one. Might as well. We've been here for the entertainment. Puts his watch on, wallet on, got his keys, gets his cell phone. Man, he took the whole bag and threw it in the lake. And he's like, I'm out of here.
The whole bag?
The whole bag. The whole bag of clubs, left it in there. And threw it in there. And left.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. He's like, I want a new set anyways. Well, you could have just gave me those. I got my Sam's Club. Yeah,
it wouldn't have worked for you either, I guess. I don't know.
I would have cleaned them up, took all the bad mojo off it. It was the funniest thing ever.
You didn't sound
I'll never forget it. He had a ping bag. He took the whole bag and threw it in there.
You didn't send a clubby diving after it or something?
Nah, man. I was like, I just started kind of playing, so I wasn't I didn't know what was going on. But we were laughing about it. Yeah. Yeah, it was a big joke. So, anyways, we're going to take a quick break, come back. We'll go run down the leaderboard for the British Open and then send you guys off to the weekend. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, we'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
When Nebraska businesses win, we all win. And the Nebraska Chamber is helping make that happen. Tackling the tough stuff like job creation, affordable and accessible childcare, and building a stronger workforce. We're stepping up so local businesses can step forward. If you want to see Nebraska keep growing, keep competing, and keep winning, get connected with the Nebraska Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Learn more at nechamber.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier, furry friends.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier, furry friends.
Lights out? Let LES know where to go. With Powerline, your phone number is matched to your service address, so outages can be restored faster. Keep your information up to date at les.com/powerline.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, we're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman. A few minutes there before we get the weekend started. British Open. Austin, who you picking?
Oh, boy. Is it too galaxy brain to take Scotty? Is it too smooth brain to take Scotty?
Do you trust him? Do you think he has it in him? He's a little off right now.
He is, but
he's holding it down, though.
I mean, he's been -2 both days.
Yeah.
How Bryson would it be to show up and end up winning the whole dang thing? That's the Cam Young tournament. I mean, he's been -3 both days, 3 under.
Yeah.
Maybe Cam Young is starting to separate himself a little bit. One of 3 guys, sitting at 6 under.
Yeah.
I just have such a hard time betting against Scotty. I mean, he's 4 back at a tough course, but also it's Scotty. It's only 4 back. You know, if there's anyone in the golf world I trust to turn it on and find a way, it would be him. I guess you give me the field or Scotty, I take the field, but it wouldn't be so Scotty to get back on track here Saturday, Sunday.
I think it's got to be somebody right now within 5 shots because it can change. Because if you're able to tee off early and the conditions are good versus late, so forth and so on, it's got to be within 5 shots. And low rounds are out there. Sam Burns went 8 under today. Herbert went 8 under today. And he's in the lead by 2.
Well, Burns goes from 3 over to 5 under in one round.
In one round. And so that's might be been based on the conditions, right? Now it changes on the hour out there. I guess if I had to pick one guy from that, I mean, obviously Scotty Scheffler is definitely always going to be in there. I would probably say Cam Young. I mean, when you're consistently there, he has major tournament winning experience, hits it long, hits it at different heights, has a pretty good mindset as far as like being able to deal with the moment. And he's pretty good coming from behind. And so I'm going to say him. The sleeper, I will say, like one guy that could win it, you know, or maybe I want him to win it, is Ludwig Aberg.
Okay, yeah.
I like him. Young, athletic guy, a lot of potential, but he has the game. If he gets going, you know, and kind of under the radar, I think he can win.
Not your boy Francesco Molinari? He's a 4 under.
He's making a comeback.
Hey.
But my favorite player to watch is Tyrell Hatton, though.
Also 3 under.
Yeah.
Striking distance.
Man, they need to have him mic'd up. Tyrell Hatton. So
Can I make the case for Tommy Fleetwood, maybe?
that would be the sentimental favorite.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Rory had his sentimental thing last year at the Masters,
Yeah.
2 years ago at the Masters.
Fleetwood's been close. He finally won
Right
his
there.
first PGA event.
Yeah.
Has the game for it. I think he has the confidence. He definitely would be. I think he's English too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be a home game for him.
Not sure I'm picking him, but there's, I think, a case to be made for him.
I wouldn't mind seeing him win it. So we shall see. We'll go to this weekend. I'm gonna fire up the grill this weekend.
Oh yeah. What are you thinking?
I'm going to steaks this weekend.
Woo!
Yeah, I need to treat myself. So
7 weeks from football tomorrow, Jay.
that's right. That's
Nebraska
right.
football specifically.
Yeah, we're gonna watch some old games to see what we can come up with. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, Old School. We'll holler at you next week.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day